Hello everyone, welcome to What If Issei Become the Strongest Being in Multiverse Season 1 Part 7. Before we start, please go support John 354 for writing that awesome fanfic. Now let's begin. This is the translated version I made. There will be some wrong he or she calling here because it's translated, so let me clear this. Issei is a male in this story. Chapter 126. A day had passed and Izawa had informed them about the cultural festival and everyone was excited. Issei. It's the first time I'll be in one. Griselda. It's true, because of so many missions you didn't have time to go to the academy. Issei. Yes, but this time I'm going to enjoy it with you and Eri. Griselda. You love her very much. Issei. Yes. But you also know that I won't let anyone hurt you. Griselda. Since she's been with you she always smiles. Issei. There was a time when I promised myself that when I had a family I would protect them and always make them happy. So that they don't have a childhood like mine. Griselda. And you are achieving it. Issei. Well, how about we go help too? It's time to have fun. Griselda just nodded and they went with Eri and Kyanrenksu. Issei. Well, what's happening here? Eri. 2chan, they are planning who will play in the band, but no one has decided. Issei. A band will be great. Jiro. Issei, you know how to play an instrument. Issei. I never had time for music at all. Kyanrenksu. Except me. Lita. We have to decide so we can start rehearsing. Eri. 2chan, I want to see you sing. I cast a hopeful look. Issei. Well, I'm going to try. Approaching Griselda and Kyanrenksu. Issei. Can you help me? Kyanrenksu. I just told you that I don't know anything about that. Griselda. I'll use some magic to fix that. Issei. Well, I want Kyanrenksu to play the electric piano and you Griselda to play the drums. And I'll play the guitar and I'll sing. Kyanrenksu. I hope you do well. Issei. I hope I don't disappoint you. At that, Griselda cast a small spell making them both able to touch. Then they went to where the instruments were and she started by playing Kyanrenksu. Surprising most. Then Griselda followed with the drums and then Issei, who had to use the flute first. When everyone heard the song, they were surprised and didn't know what to say. Eri. It was great. Issei. Thank you, but that's the only thing I know. Jiro. Where did you get that idea from? Issei. One day a friend told me his father's story about how he fought against very strong people. Jiro. Great, then you guys will play. Issei. It would be better not. You may also have better song ideas. I also promised to take Eri to see all the points. Jiro. If so, that's fine. They argued again until they managed to form the team for the band. The days passed and everyone prepared for the festival. Issei, for his part, only helped with the preparations since the girls did not want to participate anyway and they insisted that they participate in the beauty contest, but they refused. It was already the day of the festival and everyone was preparing and ready. Issei. Are you ready, Eri? Eri. Yep, let's go. Griselda. They have a lot of energy. Issei. It's going to be a long day, so let's go. How about after this we go out to eat since it's so noisy here? Kyanrenksu. Sounds good. Eri. Yes. The four of them took off going to various positions. Then they went to see their class where the boys began to sing and dance with great energy. After a few hours the group left the academy since it was late and it was time to eat. Everything was calm and at the end of the day they returned to the 9 Academy to rest. The next day was free and several went to see the heroes' new posts. Issei, for his part, went to the city with company since he had nothing better to do. While they were doing it they were talking until they heard an explosion. Eri. What was that 2chan? Issei. Something's not right. Don't worry, I'll go see you, stay with Griselda and Kyanrenksu. She just nodded and Issei started running towards the direction of the explosion. When Issei arrived he saw how 2 monsters were about to attack 2 people. Without wasting time he went to them and killed them with one blow. Issei. Leave this place. It's not safe. They just nodded and ran away. Issei. I've seen ugly things but you are among them. Going on the attack. While she did so he looked at the sky and saw a fight where Endeavor was with someone else fighting with a rapidly regenerating monster. Tosk. Boy, get out of here, it's dangerous. Issei. I can fight. Tosk. Wait, you are. Issei. There's no time for that. What is that thing? Tosk. It's a Nomu, only that thing can't be killed that easily. Plus it takes those creatures out of your body. Issei. I understand. At that Issei activated his wings and took flight, surprising Hawks with his wings. When Issei arrived he saw Endeavor tired and injured. Issei. Get out of here, I'll take care of it from now on. Endeavor. You're crazy, brat. You can't handle that thing. You can't kill it. Issei. Everything has a weak point, you just have to look for it. Get out of here. Endeavor was going to say something, but Issei instead hit him on the back of the head, rendering him unconscious. When he did so he took him to a building and let him rest. Then I returned to the Nomu. Issei. Let's see what you're capable of. Nomu. You're not strong. Nomu. You're weak. You don't enter the top of the strongest. Issei. Let's see what you're capable of. Going towards the Nomu. Seeing that, he stretched out his arm to kill Issei, but he destroyed it with his fist. As he approached he was going to hit him in the face, but the Nomu managed to knock him out, but not completely. Issei destroyed half of his face. Nomu. Not bad. I hope you entertain me. Regenerating his face and arm and going to attack. Just like Issei. After a few minutes Issei had some scratches and the Nomu was regenerating. Issei. This reminds me of that Hydra. I just don't have time to waste here this time. I have people waiting for me. Nomu. You will never beat me. Issei. I'll use this. Fourth ability Hydra Poison. Spitting out a large amount of poison. The trusting Nomu thought that he would not do anything to him and stayed there. When she touched his arm he disintegrated as if nothing had happened. I tried to regenerate it again but it didn't work. Seeing that he was going to leave, but Issei grabbed him by the neck. Issei. You don't move from here, friend. Nomu. What are you? How many skills do you have? Issei. You don't deserve to know that answer. Watching him completely disintegrate. At that point he made the poison disappear and returned with the others since he had been late. When he returned, Issei went to him and gave him a hug. Issei. I thought you weren't coming back. Issei. I will always come back. I will never leave them unprotected. Griselda. What was it? Issei. An ugly thing. But it's all over now, how about we go back to the academy? Taking Issei in his arms and starting to walk. Without realizing that his battle was recorded. All the academy students and the public saw her and were amazed at her abilities. Qian Renksu. Do you think more of those things will appear? Issei. Yes so. They must be ready for their destination. Chapter 127. When he arrived at the academy everyone stared at him. Issei. Something's wrong. Midoriya. Issei, how many gifts do you have? Issei. What do you mean? Lita. We saw your fight against the Nomu and we saw how you flew and spit out that mist. Issei. I see. Well I have those skills, but I don't usually use them. Kirishima. It's still great though. In the future you will become the #1 hero. Issei. I don't plan to be a hero. Sooner or later I will leave here. Momo. But you possess such abilities. Issei. You guys are strong too. And they will go even further. Starting to walk towards her room. The next day those from class 1A had a drill against some villains being the third years. Issei. You don't have to be a villain Najire. Upon hearing that voice, she turned around quickly. Najire. How did you find me? Issei. There aren't many places to hide. So if you are a villain, your other partner is too. Najire. That's right. Yesterday I saw your fight, it was great. You have 3 gifts that is unique. Issei. Don't take it seriously. But well, what do I do with you, you're already the villain. Najire. The only thing left to do is fight. Until you can stop me but that's impossible. Issei approached her and took her 2 arms. She tried to get away but she couldn't. Issei. What were you saying? Najire. This isn't easy. Then I lost. Issei. Maybe, but no. I want you to go with the other students. I want to see how strong they are. Releasing her hands. Najire. You'll see. Leaving the place. Seconds later some explosions could be heard. Issei. It will be fun to see this. Going to the tallest building to see the battle. Issei. You guys can do it. At that Issei thought of something. Issei. Maybe it will help Najire and the other boy now that I think about what his name was since he hardly spoke. Well it doesn't matter. Taking a big leap. Falling in the middle of her companions. Midoriya. Issei, it's good that you arrived. Issei. I'm sorry Midoriya, but I'm a villain too. Everyone was surprised when they heard that, as were the third years. Ichako. It's impossible. It's enough with the 2 of them and now you. We are lost. Issei. They'll give up just like that. And you Najire let yourself get caught. Najire. It was quite a surprise hahaha. Issei. If you don't come out you will know the consequences. Hearing that, she quickly got out of the trap. The students without a choice went on the attack. More against Issei. But nothing was working as she evaded every blow and knocked them out with ease. In the end the heroes lost. Issei. Guys, if you do these things in a real fight you will end up dead. Midoriya. You are very strong. Issei. It doesn't always have to be just strength. You can also use ideas. Like when Najire was caught. I wish you luck in the next battle. Najire. That was great. How do you move that fast? Let's go tell me. Issei. You remind me of a person being this lively. Najire. Seriously. Issei. That's right. But hey, see you later. Leaving the place. Some had already happened and nothing bad had happened. Issei was in the living room with the girls. Qian Renksu. Issei, I see you very thoughtful. Issei. Well, I was thinking about how long we've been here already. Griselda. It's been almost 6 months. Its time passes very quickly. Issei. I know. Griselda. Issei, before I came, the leaders of the factions met and planned to make you the pillar of the factions. Issei. I don't want that. I don't want to disappoint you. Griselda. Serafal said the same thing when someone proposed it. Also Ajuka and Surzich wanted to give you your game of evil pieces. Issei. I don't like that stuff. Griselda. It would be like having a connection with your colleagues. Issei. I prefer things like this. Besides, we are all united now. We live in the same house and everything. Kan Renksu? You have something planned when you return. Issei. Catch up and go out to show Eri everything. Eri. I want to know what the place you come from is like, Tu-chan. Griselda. There are many places. And I know you will like the other girls who will be happy to take you to their features. Eri. Tu-chan, I want to go now. Issei. All in his time. But do not worry. Sooner or later we will leave. After that talk. One day passed and Class 1A was going to face Class 1B. Only this time Issei and company were not going to participate because they were too strong. Issei. This will be great, not All Might and Midnight. Ashinori. That's right. Midnight. Because you didn't want to fight. Issei. There are 20 students in each class, so it would be unfair. Plus that new kid will join both classes. Ashinori. You could handle all of them with great difficulty. Midnight. Even if you're strong, I don't think you can fight 40 at a time. Issei. Maybe. Griselda remembered how Issei fought like thousands alone. And being much stronger than the students. Kan Renksu. Something's wrong. Griselda. Nothing important. Ashinori. That girl won't leave your side. Issei. She doesn't like to be alone, and well, with me she will be fine. That's when the battle begins. And Issei and company asked to see how everyone went to the attack. Kan Renksu. They don't do it wrong. But they should be faster. Griselda. They are not like you. Kan Renksu. Maybe, but they should be more cautious. Look at Kirishima, they already caught him, and Kota. Issei. They're just starting, we have to wait. Watching the fight. Seconds later the big three of the academy arrived. Issei. They shouldn't be in class. Najire. We have time and we come to see the match. Mirio. It's interesting. See so many fights. Eri, how are you? Eri. Well, thank you. Mirio. I'm glad to know that. And you, Issei, why don't you participate? Issei. It's not necessary. Mirio. It was great to see you fight that time. Defeat the majority even though the villains won. Issei. We would have won sooner. Since he had trapped Najire. Amajiki. Seriously. Najire. Hahaha, took me by surprise. But I let myself go in the end. But they caught me again. Amajiki. I see. Issei. Well, let's leave that topic. It's already past. Najire. After this you guys want to go have something to drink. Issei. Sounds good, and you girls? Eri. Yep. Griselda. Sure. Kan Renksu. I hope they finish soon. Then they continued watching the fights, and the first fight was won by those from Class 1A. Issei. They did well. Najire. He has a good quirk. Brainwashing is interesting. The next meeting began. But at that moment something appeared behind them that surprised all but one group. Issei. It was faster than I thought. Ashinori. So. Issei. That's right. This is goodbye. I would have liked to say goodbye to the rest, but it won't be possible. There are some things invented by me. Ashinori. That's how it will be. And thank you for all the help you have given us. Najire. What are you talking about? And what is that? Issei. It's something that will take me home. Well, I hope so. So this is goodbye, it was fun meeting you. Griselda. Let's go quickly, he may leave. Eri. Goodbye Mirio, you say goodbye to Midoriya. At that time the group was going to the portal until everyone entered. Issei. Well, it's time. Najire. On time. Issei. Najire, what are you doing here? Najire. I want to see more interesting things. Issei. But you are a heroine that will pass. Najire. That doesn't matter now. Issei. Okay. I hope you have fun on this new journey. Najire. That's how it will be. Giving him a big smile. Seconds later they reached their destination and Issei quickly opened his eyes and was happy with what he saw. Issei. I'm back. Chapter 128. Issei looked around and was happy. Kan Renksu? Because you think so. Issei. I know this place very well. I used to train here since I was little. I will never forget those days. Najire. What a nice place. Issei. Before leaving the forest we have to talk to you more. Najire. Yes. She just nodded and everyone nodded and began to explain to her about her world. Najire. I understand. So I shouldn't use my powers because here humans don't have any. Issei. That's right. Najire. But instead there are angels and demons. Griselda. Exactly. Najire. This is great. I want to see them. Issei. Griselda, would you do me the favor of hiding Eri's horn? Griselda nodded and hid Eri's horn with magic. Seeing that, Najir was surprised and began to ask. Issei. Well, we're leaving. I already want to go home. I haven't returned for many years. Griselda. Good. Issei. Let's walk so you two can see the city. But that they continued on their way until they left the forest. When they did so they walked a little until they reached the town and some girls were surprised to see the place. The men stood still when they saw the girls since they were very pretty. After a few minutes of walking they arrived at the house. Issei was surprised since it was very big. Issei. Yes, what a change. Griselda. Yes, I know. They started walking and when they arrived Griselda took out a key since they wanted to give a surprise. When I entered, some girls were in the room. Issei. What a big change. Upon hearing that voice, they turned around quickly and were surprised to see Issei there. Before she spoke she was already on the ground receiving a big hug. Irina. Where have you gotten yourself? Issei. No idea, it only appeared in several parts. Serafal. It took you a long time to come back. Who knew? But I'm glad you're back. At that they got up from the ground. Enemu? Griselda, you were lost. Griselda. It's a long story that I'll tell you later. Claire. In the end you didn't come back that time. Prince. Hello Issei. Belfast. It's been a while. Issei. It's good to see you again. But first of all I want to introduce you to someone. Calling Eri towards him. Issei. This is my daughter, her name is Eri. The girls were surprised when they heard that and saw the girl and then Issei. And then the two unknown girls. Issei. Before anyone speaks, I'll say it. She is not my biological daughter, but I love her like one, so please treat her well. Upon hearing that, everyone let out a sigh. Issei. And these are Najir Hato and Kian Renksu. Najir. Hello everyone. I hope to hear a lot about you and your skills. Kian Renksu. It's a pleasure to meet you. Issei. And where are the others? Serafal. Some on a mission and the rest shopping or solving something about their faction. Issei. I see. At that point everyone went to the living room so they could talk more calmly. Eri was close to Issei as was Liza. Issei. And tell me Brunhild, what do you think of the gods here? Brunhild. They are actually happier. But seeing Odin Sama so perverted, perhaps I didn't expect it from Zeus. Athena. But he's the most perverted little bit when he gets together with Odin Sama. Issei. I see how you and Claire and Liza are doing. Claire. It's not bad, really. It's quiet from time to time. Liza. It's fun to be with so many people on each end. Issei. I'm glad and you Belfast and Prince. Belfast. I'm not complaining, I like it. Prince. Not bad. Although we went there once and it wasn't bad. Issei. I see. Griselda told me what Hero wanted to do. Enemu? I see. Even though he is always rejected, he continues to bother. Lefei? More to us. The office? Well, he hasn't done anything with me. Hiroka? It might be because he's afraid of you. Issei. Well, I hope it doesn't continue to bother me anymore. Leviana? You know very well what he is like. I don't think he would give up so easily. Alicia? I didn't kill him just because the old men of that underworld council could declare war for treason. Issei. Wow, it is dear. How much time have you spent here? Since I left. Amaterasu? About 5 months. Tsukiyomi? Issei, what happened to you? Your eyes are green now and you also got the one you lost back. Issei. Well, after the fight against the gods I thought I would fall here and well I fell in a forest and alone. I faced several creatures and met many people. Enemu? Like Kian Renksu. Issei. I met her 5 years later. But hey, I got along well with them and I trained a little. Then I separated for a few months and went to train and fight some very strong creatures. And I was able to get his skills. And well, one of them had great regeneration. Astrid. Wait, how strong you were considered in that world. Griselda. Issei was considered a god king. One of the strongest people there and I didn't use his abilities, just his strength. The girls were surprised when they heard that. Griselda. When they found out their level, everyone was surprised and scared like Kian Renksu. Kian Renksu? Who wouldn't be scared by such power? Liza. Ani-chan, you are great. Issei. Thank you. After that I went to a world of heroes and villains and well I entered an academy and there I met Najir, although she asked me many questions. Najir. I like learning new skills. Issei. Over time I did some things and I also met Eri. Yukin. I do a lot of things, honestly. And Zayton. But so many years have passed because you look the same. They all clicked when they heard that since they hadn't noticed it. Issei. Maybe it's due to an ability of the creatures I kill. He was an immortal. Eride. You always give us surprises, Issei. He just laughed when he heard that. Hours passed and they continued talking until a magical circle was created, leaving Gabriel, Grafia, Enterprise and Ingvald. When they saw Issei they were surprised, but they were happy and went to him. After a few minutes the others arrived and everyone was already together. Issei. Finally we are all reunited. Serafal. With that said, we have to have a party for the return of Issei and our new companions. Everyone screamed with excitement and started the party that lasted almost all night. Issei and Liza went to sleep early since they couldn't continue with the party. Enterprise. Issei, now that you're back, what are you going to do? Issei. What I always do. I will fight so that no one is hurt. Claire. And I'll go with you. It's been a while since we fought together. Najir. I'll go too. Issei. Everything in its time. Giving a big smile to the group. At the end of the party all the girls went to sleep except Issei who was in the patio. Office. Issei. Issei. Office, you shouldn't be sleeping. Office. I don't usually do that. And you. Issei. I'm fine. It's just that I'm happy to be back. Now that I did it I have to protect all of you. So that what happened that time doesn't happen. Office. Issei is not your fault for what Cao Cao did. Everything happened very quickly and the good thing is that I sent my power elsewhere. Issei. Yes, when Ross was told me that I was happy. But I won't happen again. Office. I know. They were there for a while until they decided to go in and go rest since they had a lot to do the next day. Chapter 129. It was a new day and everyone was sitting at a large table having breakfast. Issei. Serafal you called them. Serafal. That's right when we finish we leave. Najir. Where will they go? Issei. We will go to the underworld, I have to talk to the leaders. To return. Claire. You're so excited. Issei. A little ha 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 ha. Najir. I can go. I want to see what it is like. Issei. Of course I have no problem. Iri. Tuchan I can go too. Issei. Sure. When we finished we went for a walk for a while. Serafal. It's a nice city. Iri. Great. At the end of lunch everyone went to do their own thing. Issei and company went to the underworld when they arrived they went to the room. Issei. Are you sure going in might get boring? Not far away there is a patio with many flowers you can wait there. Najir. Okay, see you there. Iri. See you too Chan. Issei just nodded and both girls left. While Issei left with Serafal to the living room. Upon arrival she saw the leaders and greeted each one and gave a brief explanation. Azazel. Wow, you've had adventures. Issei. You could say so. I met good people. Azazel. And tell me, you also have that armor like that blonde girl. Issei. You're talking about the 100, of course they gave me one. Azazel. Great, you show me. She won't let me analyze it. Issei took off his necklace and gave it to her. Surzich. And tell me Issei what you plan to do now. Issei. Well since I'm back, I will return to fight. Michael. Don't you think you should rest? Issei. I'll do it later. Now I have a daughter to protect. Auden. I understand you want a safer world for your family. Issei. Exactly. So. Surzich. If so we have no choice but to accept. One of our informants told us about a Rizavim base. Izanagi. It's an experiment base, we don't really know what it's doing there, but it can't be anything good. Zeus. It is also very protected so you must be careful. Issei. I understand. Isaka, I can take Kunu, she can help me. Isaka. She'll be happy to go with you. Issei. Good. There will also be someone who came with me since he likes to look like Nu and I will take Prince. Azazel. 4 in total. Not bad. Issei. And where I will have to go. Surzich. Germany. Issei. I see, with Kunu's help, I know we can meet. While in the garden. Najir. It's a nice place, isn't it? Iri. Yes it is. Najir. Tell me Iri-chan if Issei is your dad who is your mom. Iri. I don't have a mom. Najir. Tell me, do you want me to be your mother? Iri. Seriously? Najir. That's right, but not just me, but also the other girls. I think they would be very happy if you told them like that. Iri. It's okay Najir Ka-chan. Upon hearing that, she had a big smile and gave him a hug. Najir. That's right, daughter. You should always call me that. Iri. It's okay Najir Ka-chan. At that time a group of people were passing by. And a boy upon seeing Najir was surprised by how cute she was. At that point he approached both of them. Hero. Hello. What is a pretty girl like you doing here? Najir separated from Iri and looked at Hero with a serious face since she had been told about him. Iri hid behind Najir. Najir. Waiting for someone. So you can continue on your way. Don't talk to Hiro-sama like that. Hiro. Don't worry, it's okay. You don't lose anything by going with us, this place is boring. Najir. I'm fine. I'm waiting for someone. Hiro-sama, that girl has a spell placed on her head. Hiro. Seriously. You can take it off. I have no problem. Creating a spell and undoing the spell that Iri had to cover her horn. When the group saw that, they were surprised. She has an ugly horn. Hearing that, Iri felt bad. Najir. How dare you talk to my daughter like that? You have ugly tastes to have a daughter with a monster. Najir. Take those words back or what? Better leave that thing there and you'll join this group. Maybe you can help Hiro-sama. Najire. I would never be in such a group. And you don't call my daughter that. Yes, whatever. You two trap her while Hiro-sama puts her pawn piece on her just so she will pay attention. The other two girls nodded and went against her. Najire hit one and sent the other flying with her skill. But as he did so, someone grabbed Eri. Leave it or her. Taking her hair. Najire. Leave her alone. She put Eri down, but seconds later she slapped her. Najire was upset to see that and she was going to attack her, but she was taken by surprise. Hiro. I don't like doing things the hard way, but I have no choice. Bringing her pawn piece closer to her. Issei. Don't expect such a meeting. How dare you touch my wife and daughter. She said it with a murderous look towards her brother, more like a person. Since she saw her daughter on the ground with a blow on her face and some tears, that only bothered him more. Hiro was going to say something, but Issei went at the girl, punching her in the face, killing her instantly. Then she went against her brother and kicked him in the stomach, sending him flying. Without losing movement he hit each girl, leaving them unconscious. Issei quickly went to her daughter. Issei. Sorry I'm late coming back. Eri. Tu-chan was scared. I don't like those people. They also hurt Najire Ka-chan. Issei. Sorry. I had promised myself that no one would touch them, but I didn't keep it. Najire. Okay. The good thing is that you arrived on time. Issei hugged both girls. Seconds later the leaders arrived as they heard a noise and saw a dead girl and two unconscious and Hiro on a wall unconscious. Serafal. What could that idiot have done to bother Issei? At that Issei separated from both girls and went with them. Surzich. I wouldn't want to know but I have to. Issei. Those touched my daughter. And they tried something with Najire. Azazel. I don't like this at all. Issei, you can get in trouble, you just killed someone. Issei. I don't care about that Azazel. He would kill whoever he is. If he tries to hurt my loved ones. Ajuka. During this time Hiro made many connections with the other clans and some factions as well, so he has a lot of support. Izanagi. He's right. Several people hate you for what you did with that guy on that occasion. Zeus. And on Olympus because of Ares. Isaka. In my faction there are few. But I've kept them under control. Odin. In my faction no one is against you. On the contrary, if someone says something bad about you, the citizens themselves take care of it. Azazel. And Grigori some allow themselves to be bribed so he has allies. Serafal. Not counting the council. Issei. Wow, you didn't waste your time in my absence. But hey, that doesn't matter. They can all come against me, but if they do they must be prepared to die. I know that when he wakes up he will run to see his council and I will be called. Seraphic. What will you do? Issei. I'll go. I'll see what he wants and if he wants something stupid that's where his story ends. Isaka. Don't tell me what. Issei. That's right. I will end her life. Chapter 130. Azazel. You know what they would cause if you killed him. Issei. I don't know and I don't care. Surzich. Although I don't like it very much. If he dies in your hands, many people will come after you and your family. Issei. It doesn't matter. They call me when he comes to complain. Carrying her daughter and taking her in her arms. Serafal went with them and teleported the four of them back to the human world. When Issei arrived he took Eri to his room. Alice. What happened? Serafal. Hiro and his group. One of her girls hit Eri-chan and tried to turn Najire into a demon. Those present were surprised and upset upon hearing that. Serafal. Issei, upon seeing that, killed the girl and knocked out the entire group. Prince. That guy passed this time. How dare they mess with a girl? Najire. I couldn't defend her. Griselda. Don't blame yourself. It's their fault, you did your best. Serafal. Yes it is. Kian Renksu. That we will do this will not stay like this, right? I don't want them to hurt her, I took care of her for a long time and I love her like my own daughter. Griselda. Me too. The others nodded since they also thought the same even though they barely know her. Minutes later Issei came down to the living room and noticed the silence. Issei. Because those faces. Najire. Issei me. He just walked up to her and gave her a hug. Issei. It's not your fault Najire. So don't go saying such a thing. I want to see that smile you always have. She pulled away from Issei and gave him a quality smile. Issei. I like it that way. Brunhild. And now what will happen? Issei. We just have to wait. I had planned to go on a mission, but it's better to cancel it. Serafal. I already took care of it. Issei. Thank you. Gabriel. You are not alone Issei. We will be supporting you. Roswis. We will always support you. Issei just gave them a big smile upon hearing that. Even though they had seen that smile often, they still liked it. 2 hours passed and then Serafal was informed. Serafal. Just like you said Issei. The council wants to see you. Issei. I understand. When? Serafal. In a few hours. They will be the leaders of their clans and other people. Amaterasu. But precisely those who hate Issei are not like that. Serafal. Yes. Issei. Good. Then I'll be ready. Claire. We'll go with you. Enterprise. You will not be alone. Issei. Thank you, but I want some of you to stay and protect Issei and Liza in case they plan something. Office. I'll stay. Athena. Me too. Alicia. I would like to go, but I will take care of them. You go calmly, we will protect them. Issei. Thank you. They just nodded and the girls talked among themselves to see who would stay and who would go since they couldn't all go. Hours passed until the moment arrived. Issei went up to her daughter's room and noticed that she was still asleep, as was Liza. Then she went with the girls they were going with and they left the house. Upon reaching the underworld, the Lairs guided them to the place. As soon as they entered, all eyes went towards them. Serafal had to go to her seat because she was a Mau. Issei stepped forward as the girls took their seats. Several men only murmured about the beauty of the girls, but they did not take it into account. Counselor 1. You know very well why you are here, don't you, Issei? Issei. Of course I know. And I don't regret doing it. Counselor 3. You killed someone from a very important entourage and that cannot be forgiven. Besides, you don't belong to any faction. Counselor 4. That's the death penalty. Several murmurs were heard being in favor, but Issei for her part continued with his calm face. Issei. So what you mean is that I must die just to protect my family. What a stupid thing. Counselor 2. Speak to us with more respect, brat. Issei. Respect is earned. And you don't deserve it. Counselor 5. Those will be your last words before you die, inferior human. Counselor 6. And that girl will be punished too. And that woman and others who are with you will become part of Hiro-sama's entourage. Issei just clenched his fists upon hearing that. Issei. Touch one of them's hair and you'll regret it. Counselor 2. You think we're afraid of you? Just so you know, the mask can't do anything. They don't have that much power against us. Issei. I don't need help from them to finish you off. Hiro. Big words for an inferior being like you. Ganrenksu. Inferior. You're blind. Upon hearing that voice, Hiro searched for her origin and when he found her, he was surprised by her beauty since she was unique. Hiro. Soon you will be in my group. You will be very happy. Issei. You fell deeper and deeper, Hiro. You let yourself be guided by power. Hiro. Maybe you're jealous since I and Asami were born with great powers and you were born with nothing. I won't deny that you became a little strong, but that's all. And that will only be for a short time since you are human. You will die while I will live for many years. Issei. That's all you'll say. Just like you old people. Counselor 2. Acting so arrogant. But you know how a request from the Mau is granted a rating game against Hiro-sama's team. He will go with his friends to fight. And you can search too. There are 10 people maximum. Hiro. I will give you the honor of falling on a battlefield. Counselor 1. It will be a battle to the death. Once they enter the stadium they will not leave there, no matter when they beg for mercy, no one will take them out. And also no one will be able to enter. Counselor 6. You have 4 days to prepare. If you run away you will be hunted with a large reward and we will have you tortured first. Issei. I understand. It's obvious that they want him to die there. Hiro. This time you won't do anything to me. I trained non-stop. Plus there are people who will also fight by my side. And one more thing, don't take the girls, I don't want such beautiful women to die for an idiot like you. Issei. You think I was wasting my time. Hiro. It doesn't matter. I will do my best to get those girls pregnant. Issei. I see. If that's all, I'm leaving here. Starting to walk to the exit, the girls got up and went with him. Brunhild. But the gods don't talk about being arrogant like that. Issei. It was always like this. Since he was little he was spoiled and if he wanted something he had it. He no longer has any fear. And that idea of a battle to the death may have been his. Prince. Issei, who will go with you to fight? Issei. Me. Prince. And don't say that you're going alone. This time we are going to accompany you, okay? Issei. I understand. Then decide among yourselves. And in the fight I will do my best to help them. Ganrenksu. It's obvious that I'll go. Issei just smiled at him and after that they returned to the human world. As soon as the others arrived, they gathered and began to ask questions. Upon hearing about the battle, they saw each other to find out who would go with Issei to battle. Chapter 131. 4 days had passed and Issei was at his house. Eri. 2-chan, for your good luck, I can do your hair. Issei. Sure. Liza. I can help you. Eri. Sure. While Liza loosened some of Issei's braids, Eri began to comb his hair. Eri. You have very straight hair. 2-chan is great. Issei. Thank you. Liza. Ani-chan, why can't we also go to that place later? Issei. It's dangerous and I don't want anything to happen. But the girls will be here, don't worry. The office is going to take care of them. Liza. Okay. Eri. Don't be late. Issei. Okay. While the other girls watched all this with a smile. Gabriel. Issei is a great father. Kuroka. This is how it will be when I have my kittens. The others, hearing that idea, blushed as they also thought about seeing their children playing with Issei. After a few minutes both girls finished combing his hair. Issei. How do I look, girls? Serafal. I love it. Irina. I say the same. Claire. You'll go like this. Issei. Of course they made an effort to do my hair like that. Brenthold. It's time, Issei. Issei. I see, then we're leaving. They all nodded. Issei. Office, I'll order them for you. If something happens, call the rest. Office. Okay. Although I lost some power, it doesn't mean I'm weak. Issei. I know you're not weak. See you later. The entire group teleported to the underworld. Upon arrival they were guided to the stadium. Minutes later they reached their destination and Issei was surprised by the stadium. Issei. Wow, it's huge. Lefei. Yes, they exaggerated. Upon reaching their destination, those who were going to participate and those who were only going to support were separated into two groups. Gabriel. Issei, I wish you luck. Same with you girls. Issei. See you later. Minutes passed and the stadium was full, most of them supporting Hero. Enemu. If Issei wins this he's going to get ugly later. Irina. Sooner or later this would happen. Plus the Gremory group looks confident. Tsukiyomi. Despite the two defeats he had, nothing changed. Athena. We just have to wait. That's what the presenter spoke about. Announcer. We are all ready for this great fight. Everyone screamed with excitement. Presenter. Tonight two groups made up of 10 people will fight to the death. Once they enter the stadium no one will leave or enter. But that said, let's welcome Hiro-sama's group. Entering one by one until finally Hiro entered with a big smile. Many of the audience supported him and some booed him because they didn't like him anymore. Announcer. Okay, now to Issei-sama's other group. The first to pass is a Valkyrie that not much is known about her. Her name is Brunhild. Entering the battlefield with her suit. Presenter. The following is a very skilled person with one of the new sacred gears who possesses the Abyssing Dragon Emperor's fan. Walking in with normal clothes that she usually wears. Announcer. Next up is someone who doesn't know anything called Kian Renksu. Coming out of her with her suit from her spiritual office, everyone upon seeing her thought they saw an angel. Presenter. The following is a very famous goddess, many of you know her, so I will just say give a big round of applause to the goddess Amaterasu-sama. Entering in her priestess outfit. Presenter. The next to enter is a goddess greatly feared by many people, her name is Nick-sama. Entering the stadium in a big black dress. Presenter. The next person to enter also doesn't have much data about her abilities, but if she is in this group, it is because she must be strong. Also give a round of applause to Najire Hato. Entering the stadium with her heroine outfit using her abilities. Thanks to the help of Azazel they managed to make a similar one. Presenter. The next to enter is someone who has earned the fame of many people. For being she was always serious in her missions and for possessing such a weapon to attack. Her name is Enterprise. Wearing her usual outfit and with her bow in hand ready to fight. Presenter. The following is a very important person in the faction of her being a daughter of gods. Give a big round of applause to Astrid-sama. Entering the stadium with her battle suit and a sword. Presenter. The following is a person who was searched for a long time, but all that is in the past. Please welcome TMJM Kuroka. Wearing his usual kimono entering the stadium with a smile. Presenter. And last but least the leader of the team, young Issei. Entering the stadium with his suit, everyone laughed at his hairstyle when they saw him, but Issei didn't care. Presenter. In 5 minutes it will start, I wish you luck. Leaving the combat arena and with that the entire arena was sealed. Hero. Hey, I told you to leave the beauties out of this. It's a shame that they die in such a place. Kuroka. The only one dead here will be you. On the balconies. Azazel. I lead an interesting group, but I'm surprised Office isn't there. Enemu. She stayed taking care of the girls. Azazel. I thought you guys wanted to participate too. Serafal. I can't do it otherwise the council members would be bothering me. Surzich. But on Issei's side there are goddesses too. I thought there would be more. Athena. The truth is, everything was by lottery. Zeus. That's why you two aren't there. Izanami. Same as your Tsukiyomi and Benzaten. Tsukiyomi. Amaterasu was lucky just that. Michael. What can you tell me about that girl called Kian Renksu? Griselda. She is very strong and her enemies must be careful when fighting her. Michael. You've seen her fight. Griselda. A little. Riaz. I don't know. Because you brag so much, it's obvious who's going to win. Ingvald. If you're right, it's obvious who will do it and that's Issei. Riaz. Don't talk nonsense. Or. I'm glad I came. I will be able to see my daughter fight. Auden. This is the first time he would use the weapon I gave him. Or. You beat me to it. Zeus. Hey Auden and that Valkyrie, how strong she is. Auden. The truth is I don't know much about her. She is very reserved and also whenever I joke with her she gives me a very serious face. Roswis. Well she hates perverts a lot. Izanagi. It's rare to see you can fight alongside other people. Since she met Issei she changed completely. Lefei. Issei has that. He can change the people around him. Arena. He has changed the lives of many people. Ingvald. Like Alice. From what they told me, she was very serious before. Aphrodite. I would say she too hahaha. Since Issei defeated her, she changed completely. While at the stadium, Issei. Girls, if something happens, call me, I'll run. Amaterasu. We'll be fine. Issei. Kian Renksu, use your skills, don't hold back okay. Kian Renksu. Okay, I'll do it. Issei. And your Najire, be careful, there are dangerous people there. I really don't want anything to happen to you. Najire. This all started with me. So I'm grateful to be here. Issei. Sooner or later this had to happen. So don't blame yourself. But you know, if something happens, call me. I don't want anyone to get hurt. They all nodded and put their hands in the center for support. That's when the fight began. Chapter 132. Issei without wasting time ran towards the first one he crossed, hitting her in the face, but a rival defended herself in time using her sword as her shield causing her to fly out of the place. Najire used her powers to send her rivals flying and took flight to maintain the advantage. Brunhild created several high-level spells by hitting two at a time. Her rivals used shields, but it didn't help much. Enterprise sent several of her planes to attack while she fired several of her arrows. All the spectators were surprised as they did not give him time to attack Hero's group. At that point, several people saw Kian Renksu and wondered what he was doing. Zenobia. Maybe it scared him. Riaz. That must be it. So that he doesn't move. Griselda didn't say anything since she knew what she was like. Seconds later Kian Renksu began to walk, making his magic circles appear. Everyone was surprised to see that. Azazel. Griselda, what are those things? Griselda. Let's say it's like a skill that was earned. That's when they saw how he took out his golden wings and took flight. Seconds later he activated his spiritual weapon being the Seraph. When everyone saw it, they were surprised, especially the angels, since they felt the sacred energy. Michael. That's right. Griselda. She is protected by a Seraph. She is very strong from where she comes from. Azazel. Like she got it. Griselda. She knows the truth better about this. Yukin activated her armor and went to attack. Alicia. I didn't expect you to also join the Tantalo side. Tantalo. He humiliated Aries-sama, of course I want to kill him. Alicia. That would be impossible. Since you will have to kill me first. Hiroka began to launch several attacks at his rival. Astrid was facing a swordsman and they were evenly matched. Amaterasu was fighting one of his own faction, but he still wasn't going to show her mercy since they want to hurt Issei. Hiro was upset to see that since he thought that they would be enough, but he was wrong. Since he noticed the girl's strength. Greg. You know I never liked you. Hiro. Shut up you damn lizard. You only serve to give me power. Greg. Whatever you say. Annoyed, Hiro activated his armor and went to attack Najire since she was on top. Hiro. When all this is over you will be the first. How do you not want me to get excited seeing you in that beautiful suit? Najire. Shut up. You will pay me for hurting my daughter. Launching several of his attacks, but Hiro dodged most of them, not all of them since there were several. Each attack pushed him further into the ground. Until I fall to the ground. As he did so he was met by a blow from Yukin that sent him flying. This is a serious fight and you come with such a hairstyle, you are a disgrace. Issei. I don't care about your opinion, the only one that matters to me is those of my loved ones. Hitting him. That I send him to fly away. As he stood up he extended his hand creating a shield, but Issei with his fingers pierced the shield in his hand. The person just screamed in pain. How is it possible that shield was perfect? Issei. Right now I'm upset. So I will have no mercy on you. Giving him a blow to the face that completely destroyed it. Some of the audience were scared when they saw that. Seraphol. It's obvious that Issei doesn't feel like playing with them. Griselda. He wants to finish this quickly since he wants to return to Eri-chan. Zeus. He loves that girl very much. Griselda. She suffered a lot since she was a child and Issei promised to take care of her and make her happy. But seeing how someone hurts her makes him very angry. Surzich. That girl did that hairstyle, didn't she? Arena. It suits you very well. Azazel. Woe to the person who tries to do something to that girl. Enemu. Not only her, but also Liza, who is her little sister. And that they continued watching the fight. Kian Renksu. Angel feathers. Creating several golden feathers and throwing them at his rival. He could only defend himself with a shield, but he couldn't stand that much since there were hundreds of them. Kian Renksu, seeing that, created a great sword that the Seraph took and hit his enemy squarely, killing him completely. Kian Renksu. How pathetic, I expected more. Going to help one of his colleagues. Brunhild continued launching several of his attacks without stopping. Are there no end to your magical reserves? We have to do something. If we continue like this we could lose. Brunhild, for her part, created more spells, making her rivals work twice as hard. But in the end they couldn't continue and ended up dying. Hero stood in front of Issei with a grim face. Hero? You always ruin everything. If only you had not been born, all those women would be mine. Issei. They are people who should be respected, they are not objects. Going towards Hero and punching him in the stomach that sent him flying. But Hero, as he flew out, activated his king promotion and with his cannon, he fired a big shot. But it was not for Issei but for Enterprise who had his back turned. Issei, noticing this, moved super fast, blocking the shot completely. Issei. You're fine. Enterprise. That's what I should say. How are you? Issei. And I received worse attacks. Londo against Hero. Issei. You are a coward to attack a person like that. Hero. In war anything goes. But you can't do anything since you don't have magic or anything, just that strength. Issei. This is enough. I don't like to depend on other things, but if it's a matter of skills you want it to be that way. Activating every spiritual bone he had. Until later they functioned and activated their armor. Azazel. What is that? Griselda. It's something that Issei earned in a place. Just so you know, Issei has those rings like Qian Renksu. Only he has more. And also Issei in that world is considered a god. The leaders were surprised to hear that. Roswis. It's different than the one I had before, but it fits well. At that Issei began to walk, and with each step he took his rings were activated until he activated all 9 in total. Qian Renksu. It's beautiful to see those colors. It's not for nothing that I chose you as my partner Issei. You are a man who gives many surprises. Issei. 4th skill absolute defense. Created shield armor for the girls. Issei. Now nothing else will happen to them. At that he looks at Hero again. Issei. 6 clone skill. Creating 11 clones of himself with his armor. Azazel. I should stop being so surprised, but seeing those things can't be helped. How is it possible to do that? Griselda. It is due to an ability that the Hydra has. Remember that when you cut off one head another grows, but Issei did it that way. Auden. What more abilities does he possess? Griselda. Many, really. Roswis. By killing so many gods, Issei earned the title of God's Killer. That's what Brunhild-san told me. Griselda. His spiritual weapon has the same name. Zeus. That boy is getting stronger and scarier. While in the fight Hero was having a terrible time since several of Issei's clones were beating him up. And when he cut off one's head he regenerated quickly. Hero. You're a chicken because you don't fight yourself. Issei. If you wish. Making his clones disappear and going on the attack. Hitting him in the stomach. Hero only spit out blood upon receiving such a blow. Since he even pierced his armor. Hero. Damn. I hate you. He charged at Issei and tried to hit him, but Issei only deflected him and hit him in the ribs, breaking several of them. And then he hit him in the face causing him to fall to the ground. By that point all of Hero's allies had died and the girls just watched as Issei continued with his thing. Najire. We should go too. Alicia. Partly this runs in the family. Issei must end this. Hero was getting up from the ground with a few broken bones. Hero. This doesn't end here. You think you're a big deal just for having power now? Issei. Of course not. Hero. You don't deserve anything. Issei. You only fight to win something. You don't fight to protect someone in particular. Hero. What do you know? Just because you suffered a little as a child you think you are special. Stop the nonsense. You're selfish. Issei. You know, I apologize through no fault of my own. Lower your head, I'm right. I did for others what no one would do for me. I hid the fact that it was wrong so as not to worry anyone. Don't tell me I'm selfish because I've lost count of how many times I've placed other people's happiness above my own. At that Issei took off his helmet and shed a tear. Everyone could see his sad face through the screen. The girls were sad to hear that. Issei. Even though we never got along, I always admired you when I was little, but everything changes over time. At that Hero got up and went to attack. But Issei moved faster and pierced his heart. Hero just spit out a lot of blood. Issei. This is goodbye brother. Maybe in your next life you will treat your younger brother well. Hero. Yes, of course. That will never happen, I always hate you. At the end of saying that, Hero died in Issei's arms. For his part, Issei hugged him a little and then laid him down on the ground. At that, he deactivated his armor and when he was about to leave, a green light approached Issei. Greg. Issei, from now on you will be my PR. Issei. I refuse, I'm sorry. Greg. But. Issei. I don't like depending on the strength of other things. But I want to ask you a favor. Greg. Which one? Issei. You could be the carrier of one of my loves, her name is Claire. She is very strong, but her 100 usually reaches her limit quickly. I ask you a favor to take care of her. Greg. If she's with you it's for a reason. So yes. Quickly leaving the place where Greg already knew who she was since Hero teased her often. Arriving where she entered and they quickly communicated and Drake explained to her what Issei told him. Claire. I understand. From now on I hope we get along well Drasig-san. Greg. I say the same thing. But you must train right now, you have a weak body. Claire. That's how it will be. Issei joined the rest of the girls and with that the barrier disappeared. Riaz. How dare you kill him, you are a monster. Issei. That's how he wanted it. At that Riaz wanted to slap him, but Issei stopped his hand. Issei. Don't do such a thing. You better get out of here. Riaz. This won't stay like this. Teleporting from the place. Issei. Let's get out of here. I want to go home. Brunhild. That's how it will be. Starting to walk and after a few seconds they joined the rest and left for the human world. Chapter 132. Upon returning to the house, both girls saw Issei and quickly went to give him a hug and he received them with a big smile. Issei. As I promised, don't be late. Iri. I knew you would, you're the best 2-chan. Issei. What did they do? Iri. We were watching a movie with Office Ka-chan. Issei. I see. Do you want to go out for ice cream? They both nodded quickly. At that Issei went to the door with both girls. Roswis. Issei needs time to process what she did today. Alicia. Even though Hero hated him, Issei never had the intention of killing anyone in his family. Prince. That's life. Sooner or later it had to happen. Office. Claire, I sense a familiar power in you. Claire. It's just that Drake-san is with me now. Issei asked him. Office. I understand. Claire. It could help me train to improve so I won't be a face in the future. Office. Okay, but tell Drake to make you half dragon so that your level grows more. And you can endure the training. Claire. Okay. Najir. Now that everything is over, what will we do? Enemu? We just have to wait. Griselda. She's like Issei, she doesn't like to stay still in one place. Gabriel. Tell me Najir, don't you want to go see heaven while Issei comes? Najir. Of course. Come on. Gabriel. And you Kian Renksu want to come? Kian Renksu. Yes. At that, the three left the place, leaving the rest. Isaka. Well it's a little late now and we have to start preparing dinner. Rafia. I'll help you. Belfast. Me too. The three of them went to the kitchen to start preparing dinner. Meanwhile Issei carried the two girls, one in each hand. Liza. Ani-chan, you liked your hairstyle. Issei. Of course I look good, no. Iri. You look very cute. Issei. I say the same about you. Tell me Liza, have you already started going to school? Liza. Not yet. Issei. I see and tell me Iri, do you want to go? This is how to go together. Iri. It would be great to go. Liza. Sure. Issei. Well, when I return home, I'll ask Serafal to help me with that. The three continued on their way until they reached the ice cream shop. When they bought them they went to the park where the three of them sat on a bench so they could eat them quietly. It didn't last long as two people stood near Issei. Vi. You damn monster, how could you do that to my son? Issei. Sir, don't talk like that in front of girls. Am I? Don't talk nonsense. The dead person should be you, not him. Iri. Madam, don't talk like that to my 2-chan. Am I? So now you have a daughter. It can be seen that both are useless. At that Issei stood up from her seat and gave them a serious face that scared them both. Issei. Look you two. I've had a long day and I just want to be with my daughter and my little sister. So I ask you to please leave. Both people were going to respond, but Issei continued with his serious face. So they decided to leave. Issei. I'm sorry about that. Iri. Okay. I've met people like that before. Liza. Just like my old brother. Issei. Now you should just enjoy life, yes. They both just nodded. They were about to leave, but then Issei felt a barrier and quickly stood up and activated a shield on both girls. Issei. Whoever is there better come out. For being only a human you were able to detect us. Issei. What do they want? Well since you're going to die I'll tell you. The council sent us to kill you since you interfere with their future plans. And as a reward he told us that we could keep some women and sell those girls. Come on let's finish this quickly I want to have fun. Issei turned around seeing his daughter and sister. Issei. Can you do me a favor? Yes. Iri and Liza just nodded. Issei. Close your eyes and cover your ears yes. They both quickly did as he said and Issei smiled a little. But just by turning around his face completely changed. His green eyes shone very intensely. Issei. I won't waste my time with you since I'm going to kill some old people. You create power with so many of us. There are hundreds of us and we are all upper class. Issei. 7th skill spiritual weapon fusion. At that moment a large figure began to form behind Issei. With great murderous intent. Those present, upon seeing that, were scared to notice such power. The others found it difficult to breathe from Issei's energy. At that Issei stretched out his fist and killed everyone in one go since he wanted to go quickly against other people. At the end he used his poison ability to destroy all of his bodies. Issei. Everything is fine now. Eri. And the people where they are. Issei. We talked a little and they left. Well, how about we go home? They both nodded and headed off. After a few minutes they arrived at the house. Yukin. The food will be ready soon. Eri. Great. Kunu. Go wash your hands. Eri. Okay Kunu-ka-chan. Liza. Okay Ni-chan. Both running to the bathroom. Kunu felt happy to be called that. Issei. Serafal, I need a favor. Serafal. Yes, what happens? Issei. Send me to the underworld please, I have something to do. Irina. What's wrong? Issei let out a sigh and explained the situation. Everyone got angry when they heard that. Serafal. So you want to go kill them? Issei. If I don't do it now they will continue to bother me. Serafal. Okay. Be careful yes. Issei just nodded and in that instant he was teleported away. Upon reaching the underworld he began to run straight to the place where they would be. As soon as he arrived he kicked the door, destroying it into pieces. The counselors upon seeing Issei were surprised as they thought he would be dead. Issei. They dare to threaten my family. This if I don't forgive them. Before one could speak, Issei grabbed him by the neck and squeezed it until he detached it from the rest of his body. When he saw the other, he took his hands and broke them into several pieces, making him scream a lot in pain. To make him stop making so much noise, Issei punched him in the face, knocking him out. The rest were scared when they saw that, but they couldn't do much except try to defend themselves. One tried to escape, but Issei grabbed him by the neck and gave him a drop of his blood. Seconds later he was screaming in pain as his organs were being destroyed. While that one was dying, Issei went for the other one who hit him in the stomach, falling to his knees. Then he took him by one leg and began to hit him against the ground with great force, causing several parts of his body to fly away, leaving only his foot. Issei continued on his way until he saw the other. Counselor 1. Please don't do anything to me. I promise to never touch your family. Issei. I warned them when they called him on that occasion, but they turned a deaf ear and I don't forgive anyone who tries to touch my family. Taking him by the face. The demon tried to get away from Issei but nothing. Issei put more force into his grip, making the demon scream in pain. Seconds later his head exploded into several pieces. At the end Issei made his way to the exit without paying attention to the corpses he left behind. Just leaving the building, Serafal was waiting for him. Issei approached her and gave her a hug. Issei. Let's go home. Serafal didn't say anything and just activated the magic circle and left the place. When they got home, everyone had dinner together. Chapter 134. Everyone was in the room at the end of dinner. Issei. Now that I remember. Serafal, can you help me with something? Serafal. In what thing? Issei. I need your help to enroll both girls in school. Serafal. Sure, no problem. Issei. Thank you. Eri. 2-chan, can you tell me a bedtime story since, well, I've never been told one before. She said it with some shame. Issei. A story. The truth is, I can't do any of them. Isaka. I'll tell you one just like Liza. Since when Kunu was a girl she liked her too. Eri. Thank you Isaka-ka-chan. Liza. Thank you. Isaka just gave them a smile and then the three of them went up to the room. Issei. I'll have to learn some history. Astrid. You don't know any. Issei. I never had the chance to listen to any. Astrid. I'm sorry. Issei. It's okay leaving that aside. I know it's a lot to ask, but I've made a lot of enemies just by returning and well I want them to take care of both girls when I'm not here. Lefei. You don't need to ask us that since we will obviously do it. Leviana. So that we can take better care of them, they will go to the underworld school. Issei. They won't be treated badly. Serafal. Not there. Many children love you so they will become quick friends with the two of you. Issei. I understand, if that's the case, I don't have any problem. And one more thing Najira, I need your help with something. Najira. What's wrong? Issei. I want you to help Yuri better master her quirk. You know more about those things. Najira. I'll take care of it. Claire. Liza has been improving over time, but she still has a long way to go. Issei. Don't let her try too hard. Like you. Claire. Don't worry, Office helps me with the training. Issei. Well, now that things are clear and ready, I can go on my mission. Enterprise. What a mission. Issei. When I went to the underworld I asked for one. But I'll only take Prinz with me. I had planned to take more, but it's better this way. Enemu. Just be careful. Prinz. Finally an interesting mission. Ingvald. But we've already had important missions. Prinz. But we are talking about Issei, he is only given dangerous missions. Ingvald. Well you're right about that. Alicia. Tell me Issei why you refuse to be Drake's bearer. Issei. I don't really like to depend on other abilities, and when I use them it is only to defend you. Furthermore, Drake is someone recognized and being with me he would not receive the fame that he desires. And being with Claire, yes, since she is very strong and learns quickly. Aphrodite. Issei, how they met, she didn't want to tell us. Issei. Well. She challenged me to a fight. The others looked at Claire and she was just embarrassed. Claire. It's not my fault. She got in where she wasn't called. Issei. She was very conceited and well, over time she changed and we became friends and then a couple. Rafia. Understood, and with Qian Renksu. Issei. Same case. Only she's more tsundier. Qian Renksu. Hey, don't tell me like that. Issei. Yes, whatever you say. I met most of you that way. But let's leave this story here since I have to leave early tomorrow. Everyone got up from their seats and went to rest. The next day Issei was saying goodbye to everyone. Eri. Tu-chan, please don't be late. Liza. Don't be late, we have to play. Issei. I'll be back as fast as I can, I promise. Giving them both a hug. Like Prince since he liked girls very much. At the end they headed to the airport. Prince. Issei, now I think about it, you didn't say where we were going. Issei. We will go to Germany. Prince. Great. Issei. Plus you look very pretty in those clothes. Prince. I appreciate it. It was difficult for me to choose it, you know, since I am not used to wearing this type of clothing, just my uniform. Issei. Tell me, Prince, don't you miss home? Prince. I don't have anything special there at all. He was just a commander giving orders, he didn't even have to speak since most people were afraid of him. And well, here I get along with everyone since some of them like to joke with me. Issei. You're glad to hear that. Taking Prince's hand. Feeling Issei's hand, she held it tighter. Issei. Let's finish this quick mission so we can explore a little. Prince. I like that idea. So I can have you all to myself. Issei just gave her a smile. Minutes later they arrived at the airport, attracting a lot of attention since everyone thought they were models because of how good they looked. Once they had the tickets, they boarded and took flight to their destination. While at the residence. Serafal. Well, you're both ready. They both nodded quickly. Leviana. Well, we're leaving. This way they can get to know their school and start tomorrow. Eri. I want to go now. Let's go quickly, Leviana Kachan. Leviana. Sure. Serafal created a magic circle, all four of them going to the underworld. When they arrived they headed to the best school for children. Upon arrival they were greeted with great respect by Serafal. Eri. Serafal Kachan is the best, everyone loves you. Serafal. I'm the best, no. Eri. Yes, the best. Liza. Yes, you are. Serafal just laughed when she heard that, as did Leviana. When they reached the principal's office they started talking about his enrollment and all that. Serafal. Well, everything is done. How about we go see his living room? They both nodded and the four of them headed off. Liza. It's a nice place. Eri. Wani-chan is right. Leviana. At the end we will go to eat. Rafia will be waiting for us at a cafe. Eri. Great. Leviana Kachan, tell me how you met Tu-chan. Leviana. It was on a mission we had together. He protected me from danger. Liza. And you're Serafal Wani-chan. Serafal. I was curious about Issei and well over time we got along well. He always helps me without asking for anything in return. Eri. Tu-chan is the best. Liza. Yes it is. Serafal. Don't have the slightest doubt about that. They walked for a while longer until they left the school and headed to the cafeteria. Where Grafia was already waiting for them. Grafia. And how did it go? Eri. It's a nice place, Grafia Kachan. Grafia just gave her a smile and gave her a hug, as did Liza, since they liked the girls. At that they all sat down and ordered something to eat. Until some boys arrived. How about we sit here? There is still plenty of space. This way we know each other better. Eri. Go away, they already have Tu-chan. What a disrespectful girl, they should discipline. Serafal. She is absolutely right, we already have someone and the disrespectful one here is you. You better go because I'm with my little sister and daughter. Come on, it's not that big of a deal. If you want children, I can give you the ones you want. Serafal. Long. Oh yes, not what. Seconds later 10 soldiers arrived surrounding the boys. Grafia. Call some hideout so as not to cause inconvenience. Leviana. Are you ready? Liza. Great Grafia Wani-chan. What are you doing, how can you bring us like this? They are only women. Guard. Don't be disrespectful, reincarnated. You are facing Mao Leviathan and the strongest queen of the underworld, the queen of Mao Lucifer, and one of the best magicians. The boys were scared when they heard that, but before they said anything they were taken away to be punished. When that was finished the girls continued with their thing. And then they went for a little walk to see the surroundings. Chapter 135. Issei and company were already in Germany and did not have much difficulty with the mission since Issei killed everyone. Prince. Hey, you didn't leave me anything at the end. Issei. it's better this way. Besides, you're not used to so many enemies. Prince. Well, you're right. Since the missions she had previously had were not like that, it shows that they give you the most dangerous ones. Issei. It's better this way. So that you don't have to do them. Prince. I understand. Well, since everything is over you have to keep your promise and take me to various places. Issei. I don't know anything about here. So let's ask yes. Prince just nodded and they both headed off. They spent a day seeing various places, both of them surprised at how cool it was. Night had arrived and they went to rest, renting 2 rooms. Issei for her part was about to sleep. When she was about to go to bed she crossed the bed and landed on the floor. When she got up she looked around and was a little surprised at how big the place was. But she was on guard just in case. She started walking looking around until she stopped when she heard a voice. Hello, Issei. Issei. Who are you and how do you know my name? Well, that doesn't matter right now since I want to know what I'm doing here. You look very calm despite where you are. Issei. I've seen a lot of things in life and well, with time you get used to it. I know. Issei. Well. You tell me what I'm doing here. Do you remember when you were fighting Cao Cao? Issei. Yes, why do you ask that? You see when that portal opened I was going to return you to your world, but I wanted to see what you would do in a world where there were only girls. Since every man wants to be there. Issei. Maybe I look like a pervert. Of course not. That surprised me a little to know that you acted as usual. And well, I wanted to see what you would do in other worlds. Issei. Wait, that means you sent me to those places. That's how it is. And well, in the end I returned you to your dimension so you could see your family. Issei. Wow, I didn't expect this. And the truth is, thank you for sending me to those places. Thanks to that I met many people who are important to me. Glad to hear it. Issei. You didn't bring me here just to tell me that's not the case. You're smart. And not the truth. You know Issei, in this dimension where you were not meant to be the way you are right now. Issei then how it had to be. After abandoning your family you became a person with a lot of hatred towards them and the supernatural that you would do anything to get revenge on them. Issei. Wow. But you changed that destiny completely, right now I'm not able to know what will happen to you. You are someone unpredictable. Issei. I didn't expect to hear this. There are many dimensions where you are evil. Like one where you are in the Gremory group and they betray you and you take revenge. Or where you are a dragon god and another where you are the son of a god. Issei. That sounds great. Wait, in those dimensions I have abilities. That's how it is. You are the only one who has gotten ahead without any skills. Issei. I see. But we got off the point. You are offered something from me. Issei, I want you to go to other dimensions to help with whatever you can. It can be a tough task. Issei. I will, don't worry. You accept very quickly you know. Issei. If it's about helping, of course I will. But tell me where you will send me. I know you like surprises, so I'll just give you a hint. It's almost everything in the sea. Issei. Just like where Enterprise, Belfast and Prince come from. One could say, yes. Issei. How long would that be? Some years. Issei's eyes widened upon hearing that. He was about to say something, but they beat him to it. Don't worry, in that dimension, time passes quickly. A year there in your dimension will be a day. Issei. I see. But for them it will be little, but for me it is something else. I know. But you can take someone with you. You will know who will go. Issei. Yes, I know. But you can give me time to be with my family. Of course I'm not in a hurry. When the time comes just say in the air I'm ready. And you will be teleported here. Issei. I understand. But before I go can you tell me your name? I'll tell you when we see each other maybe. One more thing may send you to a dimension where you will see another you. Issei. It will be great. The person just smiled and teleported Issei. When she appeared in his room, she lay down on his bed so she could process everything that had happened. The next day both boys headed to Japan again. When they were about to enter the house they heard some laughter in the patio, so they went there directly. As soon as they entered, everyone was happy to see them, plus one person who ran towards Issei. Iri. 2-chan, you're back. I missed you. Liza 1e-chan and I have to tell you how she did in school. Issei. I would like to hear that. Iri just gave him a big smile. Then I hug Prince, which he happily accepts. Issei. And what's up with this party? We did not notify them of our return. Alicia. We have our contacts. You like me? Issei. Wow, it's quite a surprise, but it's great. So let's have fun. Raising his fist like the rest. It was just joy on everyone's part. Issei was at a table talking until Iri approached him, somewhat shy. Issei. Something's wrong. Iri. I just wanted to tell you something, but I don't know if you'd accept. Issei. Tell me, don't be afraid. Iri. In a week the parents' visit will be and I wanted you and my mother's to go. But I know you're busy and… Issei didn't let you finish as she gave him a big hug which surprised her, but made her happy afterward. Issei. How do you think I'll be busy that day? her having a smile while she shed a tear that all the girls saw and she surprised them. Eri broke away from the hug and she was surprised to see that too. Eri. 2chan, something's wrong with you. Why are you crying? Issei. I'll tell you a little story about my life, Eri. My parents never went to a parent meeting since they preferred to go see my siblings. The truth is that it made me feel bad. And even more so when they abandoned me. When I was in second year and there was a meeting and they went to see them, I felt a little bad, but not like before. And at that very moment I promised myself that when I had a son or daughter, I would go see her every year. Everyone was surprised to hear that. Eri just hugged Issei and little by little the other girls did too. At the end Issei wiped away his tears and put on a smile so they could continue the party. At night it was just them without the girls and Issei had something to say to them. Issei. Girls, I'll be gone for a while. Everyone's eyes widened when they heard that. But before anyone spoke Issei continued. Issei. I went to all those dimensions because a person sent me there and well wants me to go again. Office. How long will you be gone? Issei. It could be years. But it will only be a few days here. You can. And you won't go alone. Issei. I can take someone with me and well I want Enterprise to go since well the place we will go will be the sea. Enterprise? I'll be ready. But a half smile. Issei. I'll be back, I promise. Plus I'll leave when Father's Day is over. So you two must prepare. Amaterasu. We trust you, Issei, so I can only say good luck on your journey. Brunhold. I say the same thing, don't cause problems. Kianrenksu. Next time I'll go, okay. Enemu. Well, leaving all that ready. We have to prepare for Father's Day. They all nodded happily and talked about how to dress that day. Issei just listens to her talk without saying much since she didn't understand anything. Chapter 136. A few days had passed and Issei had gone out with all the girls since they wanted it that way since they wouldn't see him for a long time. He happily accepted everything since he liked to see his smile. When Eri found out that his father would be gone for a while, she became sad since he won't see her. But Issei cheered her up and promised to come back soon. Issei. He finally arrived that day. Gabriel. I can tell your enthusiasm since you didn't sleep at all. Issei. It's the first time I'll be a father. And you are ready. Lefei. I won't lie, I'm nervous because I'm going to a parents' meeting. Irina. Open up enough space in the room for everyone. Serafal. If you open it, we must also support them both. Claire. Liza is excited for this day. A few minutes passed and both girls came down in their uniforms. Issei. They're ready. Eri. Yes, I am too, Chan. Liza. Come on, Ani-chan. Issei. Good. I already have everything ready. With a camera around her neck. At that everyone teleported to the underworld and walked a little. While they were doing it, everyone stared at them since it was a large group. And more than just there were girls. Eri. 2chan, after this we can go to the beach. Issei. Sure. It's a nice place plus Enterprise, Belfast and Prince like it there. Prince. We were there most of our time. Enterprise. I'll show you something you like. Eri. You're all the best. I never thought I would have such a big family. Making a big smile for everyone. Upon arrival Eri and Liza left first to prepare. Isaka. Issei, when are you leaving? Issei. In 2 days. The quicker I do that, the quicker I'll come back. Tsukiyomi. I hope you're not late. This way you don't miss some parties. Issei. That's how it will be. They talked for a few minutes until they were let in. The group went straight to the living room to listen to the talk. While Issei recorded everything. Some children looked at Issei with admiration since they knew about her adventures. Issei, noticing her gaze, only gave them a smile. Hours passed and classes had already ended. Issei. You guys are very smart. Liza. Well, Roswaswani-chan teaches us. Issei. Oh, that's true, she is a teacher at the academy. Eri. Some things are difficult, but she explains them well. Enemu. Well, since everything is over we have to go have fun. Issei. Let's go to the beach. Raising his fist like the rest. When Issei and the girls arrived they were surprised by the great sight. Issei. Wow, what a cool place. Enemu. I know. It's mine, I've had it for a long time. Eri. Great. And Zayton. Then let's change. They all nodded and went to a house there. Issei, for his part, went to explore the place a little. After a few minutes, everyone was ready and they were on the seashore. Liza. Ani-chan, what happened to you? You have those scars. Issei. Don't take it seriously. I have these wounds because I defended your sisters. Eri. I want to be like you when you grew up, 2chan. Issei. You will be better than me, daughter. When you grow up I will give you a gift that you will like just like you, Liza. Eri. What is it? Issei at that moment activated the spiritual bone of his head and his wings. Issei. One of two things. The truth is, I don't usually use them and maybe you do. Kianrenksu. Because you want to leave it. Issei. It will help them more and I use my fists to fight. And tell me, have you mastered the ring I gave you? Can Renksu? It cost me a little but yes. Now I have a higher level and thank you. Issei. Well, it's time to go to the sea. Enterprise, do us a favor. She just nodded and activated her aircraft carrier, surprising both girls. Eerie. That's great Enterprise, Kachan. Enterprise. Come on. Everyone nodded and got on the boat, where they went further. The day passed calmly without problems. At the end of the day the group returned to the house where both girls went to rest since they had played a lot. Office. You are ready for your trip. Issei. I know I said I would leave in 2 days, but it's better that I leave now. This way I come back faster. Who knew? Don't cause trouble, yes. Issei. I can't promise anything since trouble is looking for me. Rafia. Enterprise, take care of him so he doesn't do something stupid. Enterprise. I will. Belfast. Be careful, yes. Issei. It's time for the duo to return, isn't it, Enterprise? Plus I put on the uniform. Enterprise. Yes. It's time for action. Issei said goodbye to all the girls and went out to the courtyard and gave the signal. Just by doing so, both of them were teleported. Issei. Hello again. I see you prepared. Issei. That's right. But first she leaves and I introduce her to you, she is my Enterprise partner. Nice to meet you. Enterprise. I say the same. Issei. He didn't want to tell me her name. When you come back. Issei. Wait, you said when we met. Things change. Issei. I see. When I come back you will tell me and I hope it is true. That's what it will be like. Giving Issei a smile. After that he created a portal where they both entered. As he did so Enterprise took Issei's hand. Issei. Don't be afraid, I'll protect you. Enterprise. Me too. So don't worry. Issei. Your safety will be my priority. Enterprise approached Issei and gave him a kiss. Enterprise. It's the first time I kiss you and tell me how I did. She said it with some embarrassment. Issei. It was good, plus I like seeing you so embarrassed. Enterprise. It won't happen again, okay? Issei just gave him a smile and seconds later they left the place. Both were surprised as they appeared in the middle of a battle. Issei. Because I always appear in the middle of a fight. Enterprise. Issei, what will we do? We leave or help a group? Issei. It's better to go. Taking Enterprise's hand and turning around. But just by doing so she received a blow to the face that didn't even move her. Issei just pushed her hand away with a serious face. Issei. Hey, what's wrong with you? How come you're not dead yet? I have killed several with just my fists. Issei. I don't care. I'll just go. You're not going anywhere. Wanting to land another hit on Issei. But he stopped his fist and squeezed it, making him scream in pain. Another, upon hearing that scream, went to help him. Wanting to kill Issei. But Enterprise launched a missile at him, killing him instantly. You two are enemies. And that I call more of his colleagues. Issei. In the end we had to fight. Enterprise. Be careful. Is just nodded and killed the man by punching him in the face. Seconds later more arrived and Issei took out his sword that he had at his waist. And he began to run, killing several in an instant. Other people seeing that were surprised and scared as he killed them in an instant. Finish off that boy. He must be with the enemy. Or went to attack and Issei put away his sword and got into an attack position. Giving several blows to some, destroying everything in his path. Then he kicked them a few times, sending the rest flying. Enterprise. I feel like we're going to have a lot of problems here. Stretching his bow and shooting an arrow at his enemy. Issei let out a sigh as they didn't stop coming. He looked around and saw how a man had his fist on fire and was about to kill someone who was on the ground without much energy. Issei without thinking twice ran at great speed stopping his fist. Issei. I won't let you do that. How is it possible that this doesn't burn you? Issei. This is nothing. Giving him a kick that sent him flying away. Just then Issei turns around and sees two injured people. Issei. They're fine. Yes. Thanks for the help. That was great. And my name is also. Chapter 137. My name is Luffy. What you did was great. Hey, how come you didn't burn your hand? Issei. It was luck maybe. Luffy. That wasn't luck, maybe you have an ability that cancels things. Issei. Not at all. But let's leave this topic aside since as you can see we are in a bad place. Thank you for saving my brother. And my name is Ace. Issei. Okay. I would like to know what is happening here, but now is not the time. Ace. Wait, you're not coming with my father's crew. Issei. Not at all. In those, some soldiers were approaching Luffy and Ace got into an attack position, but Issei noticed their fatigue. Issei. You should go. You two are in bad shape. I take care of them. Luffy. I still can. Issei. Of course not. Ace, take it, this will get worse every time. He was going to say something, but he sensed how weak he felt, so he just nodded and took Luffy. Issei ran towards his enemy, killing them in a few moments. You are not an ordinary pirate. You must be eliminated right now. Issei. I'm sorry but I can't die here. I have to take care of a person. You talk about Whitebeard that is about to die. Issei. He is another person. He started to walk in another direction, but that person moved at a high speed and was about to kick Issei in the face, but he stopped him with one hand. Issei. I don't want problems, but you ask for them. Sending him to fly into the sky, and then Issei took a big leap, kicking him that left him embedded in the ground unconscious. Seconds later he turned around only to see a large golden hand coming towards him. Issei for his part let out a big sigh and responded to that person's fist by sending him flying from the impact of power. Issei was going to go to Enterprise, but he saw a man with a big mustache all injured and with holes in his chest in the distance. Issei began to run towards him, removing any enemy that crossed his path. Issei. Don't take it on time. I'm sorry. Don't worry my son. This is part of my destiny. In the end we managed to save one of my son's ace. Issei. I understand. Despite the condition you are in, you still have that demeanor of a great leader. I see. But you better go, all the admirals will come for you shortly. It's time for you to start your adventure as a great pirate. Issei. I'll try. At that moment another pirate arrived wanting to hit Issei, but he stopped his fist and then gave him a kick that sent him crashing into another. I can tell that you are not a bad boy. So I will give you my last wish. Issei. It's not necessary. Whitebeard didn't respond and walked over to Issei and took something out of his pocket and gave it to Issei. This was with me for a long time and I was feared for it, I hope it helps you. Showing Issei a strange looking fruit. I know some will say it's impossible, but hey in the end it's a fic anything goes ha. Issei took it curiously and put it away. Eat it when all this is over. And tell Ace he was a great son. Issei just nodded and left the place to look for Enterprise. At that Whitebeard became serious and began to speak again, drawing attention so that some could escape. And he attracted a lot of attention since he said that One Piece existed, leaving everyone surprised. Issei. Enterprise, let's go. It's all over. Enterprise. Okay. Come on. They both started running towards the exit and noticed that the other pirates couldn't escape. Issei. You guys go, I'll take care of it. By saying that I caught the attention of both groups. Some sailors knew him more as a person who had his hand read in magma. The soldiers went against Issei. Enterprise. What do you expect, leave. Upon hearing that, the pirates got on their ships and left the place. Only leaving 2 people. Enterprise activated her bow and fired an arrow causing a large explosion. While on the other side, the black-haired man was in front of the white-bearded corpse and noticed that he no longer had the power to do so, which bothered him. He was about to scream with fury, but he remembered that he spoke to someone for the last time. Remembering Issei's face she went to look for him to obtain that power. Issei for his part had already defeated almost everyone very easily since they were weak and slow. Issei. Enterprise, are you ready? She just nodded and they both went to the dock and jumped off. The sailors thought they were crazy but were surprised to see how they both ran over the water. Issei. What a way to get to a new place, don't you think? Enterprise. Yes, but we will be running all this time. Issei. Of course not. You could do it. She nodded and activated her aircraft carrier where they both headed somewhere to get the attention of the sailors so the pirates could escape. Issei. You know it's partly cool here since there are pirates and all that. It means that there must still be treasures out there. Enterprise. Maybe you're interested in money. Issei. Not at all. What matters to me is the adventure, I don't care about money. Enterprise. If that's what you want to do, let's do it. Issei. But your opinion also counts you know. I can't force you to do something you don't want to do. Enterprise. I really like the idea. Maybe my old self would have refused such a proposal before, but with you everything is different. So let's go on that adventure. Issei. First we have to find a ship. Because the truth is that we are going to attract some attention. Enterprise. Good. Not far from here I detect an island we can go there. Issei. Let's go, sub-captain. Enterprise. I understand. Going towards the island. They didn't take that long since they could go faster with her boat. When they were about to arrive, they ran a little without attracting attention and managed to reach the city. They looked around and noticed how calm and lively it was. Issei could hear the joy of some upon learning of Shirohage's death. Remembering that she took out the fruit she had and she ate it. At first she felt strange, but she finished it. After walking for a while they returned to the dock and looked around to look for a boat until they found one that was not very big. Not seeing many people around them, they went quickly and took it. Issei stood behind the ship and then she gave a big applause that moved the ship at a high speed, leaving the citizens surprised. Issei. This is great ha. It's time for adventure. Enterprise just put on a smile when she saw Issei's excited face. Meanwhile in another place many admirals were gathered after a great fight and suffering many losses. Things will change from now on with the death of Shirohage. You're right but there were losses and that person betrayed us in the end and became a pirate again. Don't even tell me that name because I hate it. And what will we do now with his death? Hunt down their other crew members and kill them in public so that the other pirates can warn us. It will be somewhat difficult since Shirohige revealed that One Piece exists. It does not matter. Also increase the rewards of some. I also want to add 2 more people. You talk about that boy with long hair and that girl with a strange weapon. That's right, that boy stopped my flaming fist as if it were nothing. And he killed many sailors. If we leave them both alive they will cause a great catastrophe. And how are we going to find them? Setting a good reward. Furthermore, many will go after the 2 of them when they see the rewards and not being known. You already had everything planned. And how much it will be. At that point the person takes out 2 brochures and puts them on the table. And everyone was surprised by the quantities. When their names are known, they may be a total mystery for now. Thanks to a sailor who took these photos, everyone will be able to quickly recognize them. I hope to see him soon so I can kill him myself. Having an upset face. At the end of that everyone left the room. Minutes later, the new pamphlets were distributed, calling out the previous one to many. Chapter 138. A few days had passed since Issei and Enterprise had started their sea adventure. Not without having problems on their way from time to time, so many were attacked by the Navy and some pirates to gain more reputation and also bounty hunters. But both defeated them without much difficulty. More Enterprise since she was fighting in her territory. And so the days had passed until they were both on an island walking until Issei looked at 2 posters and was surprised. Issei. Enterprise, look at this. Giving him the posters. She was equally surprised to see the price. Enterprise. We haven't even been there a month and we're already looking. Issei. Maybe because of that fight. Enterprise. Now we won't be quite anywhere. Issei. Don't take it seriously. We always manage to get out of problems, this will be nothing. Enterprise. Yes you are right, but you always have to be on alert. Issei. Yes. Already seeing those signs, what if we better go? Enterprise accepted since she did not want to fight. They continued on their way until Issei saw the newspaper. Issei. It's that boy named Luffy. He has become popular just by returning to the place of battle. Watching the image until he noticed something. Issei. I see it's interesting. Enterprise. What a thing. Issei. Tell me what you think. Giving her the newspaper and Enterprise began searching until she found what Issei said. Enterprise. That's a good sign. Her friends will be able to see her without much difficulty. Issei. That's how it will be. Well, leaving that aside, what if we better not go on an adventure? You have to look for the treasure. Raising his fist and continuing on his way. Enterprise just laughed a little and followed Issei. The time passed approximately 2 years. At that time Issei and Enterprise were feared by many people for having no mercy for their enemies. They were also admired because they helped without asking for anything in return, always with a smile. Some didn't trust Issei much, but seeing his smile they could feel that she would bring peace. Many pirates wanted to join his group, but Issei refused since she did not feel anything good about them. Besides, they always looked at Enterprise and he didn't like that very much. During their travels they found several interesting things in Issei's words. They found some treasures but gave them away since the 2 of them didn't need them. Both young people were in a city walking since they wanted to explore several cities, and that was one of them. Issei. Enterprise, it's been 2 years, time flies, don't you think? Enterprise. I know. And nothing has changed in all that time. Issei. I say the same about you. You look just as pretty. Enterprise. It's all thanks to Office that one day we were all together and well she suggested to us if we wanted to live longer to be with you. Issei. I see. But you're not a dragon. Enterprise. It only gave us her energy. Issei. Because I find out about this now. Enterprise. It wasn't something of much importance, really. Issei. Well you're right about that. You taste strange to the others. Enterprise. I say the same thing, but with our arrival, we were able to help many people and save them from those pirates. Issei. It's our arrival, you also did a lot. They both continued on their way until they heard an explosion not far away. Without thinking, they both went to the place to see the situation. After a few seconds of running they arrived at the place and saw how pirates were fighting with the Navy. Plus 3 people who fought with both groups. Issei managed to recognize one, but before he could greet someone spoke first. Look it's them. Pointing his finger at both boys. Everyone stopped their fight and looked in his direction. When the sailors saw them, they were scared and the pirates began to tremble not much since they did not know about them. Luffy. Hello again. She said it shouting and with a big smile. You know this is bad. Luffy. Hey, why do they act like that? You are an idiot, he is the person who was in that fight 2 years ago and killed several sailors and admirals as well as his partner. From what I heard he has the nickname Fist of God since with just one blow he kills his opponents. And she is a divine arrow since she does not miss. It's also because no one knows their names. Little by little the sailors left the place scared. Issei. Wow, I didn't expect that. She also didn't know about those nicknames and you. Enterprise. I think I heard them a long time ago. Issei. I see. Well come on, I'll introduce it to you. They both went to the place. Luffy. Hey so long. Issei. You could say so. Luffy. Let's go to my ship with my nakamas so I'll introduce them to you. Also the others will arrive shortly. Issei. Come on. At that the group ran to the port. After a few minutes of doing so, they reached their destination and everyone got on board and left. Issei. It's an interesting ship. Luffy. Great no. Issei. Yes it is. Now that I remember, I didn't introduce myself on that occasion. My name is Issei, a pleasure to everyone. Enterprise. I am Enterprise, a pleasure to everyone. Ow. At the end everyone heard how a man fell to the ground with a nosebleed. Issei. Okay. Don't take it seriously. I'm Zoro, both of you like me. Nicholas Robin. Nice to meet you. I'm Nami. I'm Usopp. Chopper the crew doctor. Zoro. And the one on the ground is Sanji and the one driving is Frankie. Robin. I've heard a lot about you too. Nami. What things? Robin. You guys don't know anything, right? They all denied. Robin. They are both very wanted people. Their first reward was 300 million. Usopp. And now how much is it? Robin. Issei's is 1,500,000,000 and Enterprise's is 1 billion. Everyone had their mouths open upon hearing such a quantity. Luffy. Great. Tell me how you managed to earn that amount so quickly. Issei. I didn't know it had gone up 2 years ago, we saw that it was only 300 million. Chopper. How much did you guys do? Issei. We were on adventures. We went to a lot of cool places. Enterprise. Although we came across pirates and sailors and some bounty hunters. Nami. That's a lot. Robin. Besides, no one knows their names, that's why you call them God's Fist and Divine Arrow. Usopp. Because so. I don't see you carrying a bow or arrows with you. Enterprise. I have them saved. At that Sanji suddenly woke up and got on his knees in front of Enterprise with a rose. Sanji. You are very beautiful in that outfit. If you want to go out with me, I'll make you something very delicious. Enterprise. No thanks. I already have Issei by my side. Sanji fainted upon hearing that. Nami. Over time you get used to seeing that. In addition to being couples, they dress alike and look good. Enterprise. I appreciate that. Issei. Hey Luffy, how is your brother? Luffy. You're talking about Ace. Well, we separated over time since he wanted to reunite with his crew and start over. Issei. I see. I thought they would be on the same crew together. Luffy. I wanted my own group. And you have brothers. Issei. A younger sister, but we don't talk, and an older brother, well, I had no choice but to kill him. Everyone was surprised when they heard that. Chapter 139. Luffy. Aren't you kidding? Issei. It's the truth. Luffy. But how could you have done that? Maybe you don't care about your family. Issei. He took a very different path. I change a lot over time, and I had no choice but to do so. If he hadn't done it he would have done bad things in the future. Luffy. But there was no other way. Issei. He wanted it that way from the beginning, and I had no choice but to kill him. Nami. You don't regret doing it. Issei. Not really since he hurt my daughter and my partner. Everyone was surprised to hear that since they looked at him very young. Usopp. How is it possible that you have a daughter, you look too young for that. Issei. That's how things are. And well, with this issue resolved, I have a question. Robin. Which one? Issei. Where are you going? Or rather let's go since I'm here too. Luffy. To the new world. Issei. I see. It's interesting. Chopper. They've already gone there. Enterprise. Issei is one of those people who loves to see new places, and well, we went there a year ago, it's interesting. Nami. How come they got there and left like nothing happened? Enterprise. It wasn't that easy, we had to cause some problems. Issei. Hey Luffy, why did you become a pirate? Luffy. Because I want to be the king of the pirates, and for that we must find the One Piece, all the pirates are looking for it. Issei. I see. Luffy. You're not surprised to find such a treasure. Issei. Not much. Enterprise. The truth is, we already went to that place a while ago. Everyone's eyes widened upon hearing that. Robin. You're kidding right. Enterprise. As I said before, Issei likes to see new things and well when he heard about that place he was very curious and we went. Usopp. As it is. Issei. It's better that you see it with your own eyes. Zoro. They didn't bring anything as evidence. Issei. It's not necessary and I don't need anything. I already have everything I want. Sanji. Give us a clue. Issei. I can't besides Luffy doesn't want to know. Luffy. That's right. I want to get there on my own with my nakamas. Nami. They will tell us how to get there, right? Issei. What matters is the journey, not the destination. They have a lot of time and see new places. Enterprise. Thanks to Issei I have seen amazing things here. Well, seeing him, it's normal, but I'm still not used to it. Robin. You're extraordinary people. Luffy. How about you join us for a while, it will be fun. Issei. Sure. I do not have anything better to do. Luffy. We'll go to Fishman Island. Where are the sirens but? Brook. I don't think Sanji can stand seeing them. We don't know what trauma he has suffered so that he can't see the women without fainting. Issei. Mermaids, that's great. It will be an interesting trip. That's when they saw the sea as it sank more and more. Issei. It's great, isn't it? Enterprise. Yes it is. Also this is new for you since it is a new place to explore. Issei. That's right. It will also be fun to be in this group for a while since you can always see them happy and arguing. Turning around and watching as Usopp and Chopper hit Luffy and Zoro so they wouldn't do anything stupid. Enterprise. Yes, they are happy. They continued to see the sight of the fish passing by them. Minutes passed and then a pirate ship arrived that wanted to kill Luffy and his crew, but in the end only one person entered since the rest left because the sea cow was afraid of 3 people. The further down they went it got colder and everyone was bundled up except Issei. Nami. Hey, aren't you cold? Issei. With time you get used to it, this is nothing. Hey, you are a divine fist. Don't follow me, you joined this group. Issei. Just for a while. I have things to do too. If he caught you he would be very rich. And he would have a lot of fame and would be very feared. Issei. You can try it, don't lose anything by doing it. The best person didn't say anything since he didn't want to die yet. Minutes passed and they entered a current that took them further after they saw a large octopus. He was asleep but woke up when the crew of the person they had arrested arrived and caused a scandal. The octopus destroyed his ship and then went for Luffy's. Nami. What will we do? We won't be able to beat him. Issei. I'll see how I stop him. Walking and jumping to get out of the bubble. Nami. Maybe he's an idiot, he's going to die from the pressure. Or else the octopus is going to kill him. Enterprise. Don't worry, he'll be fine. Looking towards Issei's direction. Issei was facing the octopus with his fist pulled back. When he arrived he hit him hard in the face, sending him flying away. The entire crew had their eyes widened as he went about it like it was nothing. At the end Issei returned to the ship and let out a small sigh. Issei. It was cool out there. Luffy. Great. How did you do that? How come you had so much strength out there? Issei. I did my best. Zoro. You don't have that nickname for nothing. I understand now. Usopp. If that happens to a big monster, I don't want to know what would happen to a person. Robin. His face would explode with the pressure. Usopp. I told you I didn't want to know, that would be very ugly. Luffy. Hey Issei, now that I remember, you went with a white beard that day, right? Issei. Yes. Luffy. Notice that he gave something that was. Issei. A fruit but it tasted bad at first. Luffy. A devil fruit. But how is it possible when you eat that fruit? The disadvantage is that you cannot swim. Issei. That's weird, hahaha. But I can swim as you saw recently. Robin. You're a strange person, you know that. Issei. They tell me that often, so I don't have a problem. Seconds passed and the group was about to leave, but the octopus woke up and went to attack. Issei was going to go again, but Luffy stopped him since they wanted to fight. Issei just nodded and Luffy's friends along with him left the ship in a bubble to fight the octopus. But a current caused them to separate and take different paths. Issei. It won't be that easy to find them. Nami. Don't worry, the truth is we always separate and find a way to meet again. Issei. I see. There is a long way to go to get to that place. Nami. Not much. Minutes passed and the group faced several obstacles in their path. When they were about to arrive by surprise, those who had been lost arrived. Nami. I told you. Issei. Hahaha, you're lucky. Plus they made friends with that octopus from what I see. Luffy. He's not so bad if you deal with him. Zoro. At first it was a difficult fight, but we managed to defeat him and that's how he changed. Issei. Understood. At that the group continued on its way. The pupil helped them get to their destination until they finally managed to arrive. Where everyone was happy to have achieved it. Issei. It's great. Seeing the place from afar. Chapter 140. The group was about to arrive, but they were met by some pirates who gave them the option of joining them or being killed. But being Luffy he refused and in that Frankie used the ship's turbo going at a high speed. Making the bubble that protected them grow smaller and crush everyone. Except for Issei who was still standing as if nothing had happened. At that point they entered a bubble, causing those who protected it to disappear. They then entered another bubble, but this time they couldn't get very far as they all fell into the sea. Issei took Enterprise's hand so as not to separate from her. Minutes passed and Enterprise opened her eyes as she was unconscious and saw next to her was Issei. Issei. I'm glad you woke up. Enterprise. I just remember we went into that bubble and went under. Issei. Most of them got separated, but they must be fine. My priority is you and nothing else. Enterprise. Thank you. And tell me where we are. Issei. No idea, but it doesn't matter what if we're going to explore, well, that will be when you're fine. Enterprise. I'm fine, don't worry. She was about to get up, but Issei laid her down again. Issei. None of that. We're not in such a hurry. Plus we are traveling. Enterprise. Okay. From what I heard, people who eat those devil fruits are not able to swim. So how come you can? Issei. People are easily guided by the words of others. If you are persistent you can achieve anything. Tell me, what's the point of being a pirate with that ability? Yes, they must always be in the sea. Sooner or later your ship will sink. And they will have to swim. Enterprise. I see. Talking about a boat, that happened with the one we had. Issei. We only used it like 2 times since I couldn't stand the places we went. Enterprise. That's why you brought me with you, to be your ship. Issei. Partly, but also because I wanted to be with you. Since we had a lot of fun before. Enterprise. You just teased me, that's not funny. Issei. For me, yes. Since I like to see your smile, and you know it was difficult to get one of yours back then. Enterprise. You're very persistent, but I like that about you. Plus now I have a big family and a daughter. Issei. 2 years without seeing Eri. Although for her it is nothing. I hope she is doing well in school. Enterprise. I say yes, since when we went to the parent meeting she was having a good time. Issei. I know. I hope to always see her this happy. Enterprise. And when I have a partner, what will you do? Issei. That's still a long way off. At that, Issei raised his fist to the sky. Issei. You'll have to defeat me first. Since if she loves my daughter, I want to know how strong she is so that she can defend her. If she doesn't beat me, then I feel sorry for him. Eri will understand me. Enterprise. You're kidding, right? Nobody can beat you. Maybe you wish Eri-chan didn't have anyone. Issei. If someone really loves her, they will give their all. Love conquers all. And I tell you from experience. Giving him a smile, which Enterprise returned since she was right. Enterprise. Then the boy won't have an easy time since the others may give him a test. Issei. I know it will be like that. The same with Liza, no one will take my little sister, I'm going to protect her. Enterprise. I imagine so. Well, let's leave this topic for when we are with the others. It's time for the adventure you love so much. Issei. We like it. Since you too. At that, they both got up and headed off to look for the rest. After a long time of walking, they met 3 people. Issei. Hello guys. Nami. I'm glad you're both doing well. They don't know anything about Luffy and the rest. Issei. We searched in several places, but we saw you. Robin. We'll have to find them quickly since those guys only caused disasters in their wake. Issei. Hahaha, I realized it recently. They have an interesting captain. Nami. No way. Because of their occurrences we are always in danger. Frankie. But it's more fun that way, isn't it? Besides, that's the life of a pirate. Full of dangers. Robin. But not as much danger as you two who cause great disasters in such a short time. Enterprise. Issei and Luffy are similar in that since wherever they go there will always be danger. With time you get used to it. Frankie. Not far from here I saw a city, so let's go there, maybe we'll find them. Robin. I hope so. The group headed towards the city. After a long trip where they were separated, Robin and Frankie went to one side and Nami and Issei and Enterprise to another side. Seeing a store, Nami quickly entered. The other two just kept her company. After a few minutes, Luffy and company arrived. Issei. It's good to see you. Luffy. Same, and the others. Nami. They went to look for the boat. They were going to continue their talk until Neptune arrived and invited everyone to his castle. The citizens were surprised to find out this. Issei. Enterprise, I'll go explore for a while, see you. Enterprise. Don't cause trouble, yeah. Issei just nodded and left the bubble without anyone seeing him and began to explore the castle. Issei. Wow, what a great place. I look like an ant walking here. He continued on his way until he saw a large door. Without thinking twice he opened it and was surprised because there was a big mermaid there. Also that he was crying. Issei. Hey, why are you crying so much? A human entered my room to kill me. Issei. If you're talking about me, you're wrong. I don't have those plans. I came here by chance, sorry if I bother you. The mermaid was going to respond, but then Issei heard a noise and turned around and saw how a large axe was going against the mermaid. Without thinking twice he jumped and destroyed her in heavy. Issei. Who did it? Thank you very much for the help. And forgive my behavior earlier. Issei. It's okay, don't worry. My name is Issei, a pleasure. Can I call you Issei-sama? Issei. Just tell me Issei, that's what my friends call me. Alright. Then you are a pirate, if so you must be a bad person. Issei. I don't know, tell me what you think. It's quite the opposite, you are a good person since you saved. Forgive my manners, my name is Shirahashi. Issei. Nice name, I can call you Shira, it's shorter. Shirahashi. With pleasure. Issei. Tell me Shira, do you have any idea who that axe was? Shirahashi. I know who he is. His name is Vanderdecker-sama. He has a big grudge against me since I refused to marry him. That person has the ability of Mado Mado Nami. Since he managed to mark me, he can throw any weapon at me from anywhere with the aim of killing me. That's why I don't leave the walls of this tower so as not to be in further danger. Issei. Wow, you really have a difficult time. You must have been bored being locked up here for so long. Shirahashi. It's been 10 years and the only one I talk to is Megalo. Since my father made it a rule that the dens could only be there for 5 minutes. Issei. Too bad. But don't worry, I'll help you. Shirahashi. Because you would do that. You could get in trouble and you could die and I don't want that. Issei. Don't worry, I help my friends. And you deserve freedom too. Shirahashi. He is strong and dangerous and you will have difficulties fighting him since we are in the ocean. You are in his territory. Issei. You calm down and I'm nervous. The place doesn't matter. I always fix them wherever I am. Well, now that this is clear, it's time for me to go. Shirahashi. We will meet again. Issei. Of course. It'll be very soon. See you. Walking to the exit and leaving the place. Chapter 141. Issei walked through the castle thinking about helping Shirahashi. At that he came out of his thoughts as he heard some explosions and screams. Without thinking twice he went to the place and saw how they were fighting and how water was entering the castle. Issei. This will be a big problem. Noticing how one approached him with a sword in hand. When he was about to attack Issei, he stopped the sword with his hand and squeezed until it was destroyed. The enemy was surprised to see that and was about to leave, but Issei kicked him in the stomach, sending him flying, killing him instantly. At that point the water rose more, leaving everything full. You won't be able to do anything. You're lost. While Issei was surrounded and as the enemy was floating around him. Issei for his part was standing there as if nothing had happened. Issei. This is nothing. Everyone was surprised to hear that. How is it possible you should be asking for oxygen since you are a human? Issei. Well, thanks to someone's help I can be underwater. So good, let's get started. Giving a round of applause. The enemy did not understand why he did that until out of nowhere they felt a great current that sent them flying away. Leaving a few. Issei. It's time for action. Taking a leap and going against the enemy. When he saw Issei he got scared and was about to leave, but Issei hit him in the face, so he took the sword from the corpse and went against the others killing them in an instant. Issei. I expected more from them, honestly. But hey, I have to look for Enterprise and the rest. Dismounting and starting to walk. He was like that for a long time until he heard some people talking about how they took the princess. Issei. What did you say? How did you get here? Well, it doesn't matter. Wanting to stab the sword into Issei's chest. But in doing so he broke down. At that Issei grabbed the two of them by the neck and squeezed them. Issei. Speak. They took her away to have Neptune's attention. Issei. Where? We do not know. So let us go. Issei. Because I would have to. You have caused a great disaster. Squeezing his neck until he killed them both. Issei then leaves the castle to search everywhere. While doing so he entered with the enemy and asked the same question. He was like that until someone told him about the place and Issei ran away as fast as he could. When he arrived he saw Neptune on the ground and how Shirahashi was crying. The citizens could not do anything as they could be killed. Issei. I hope you had fun. Everyone looked for the origin of his voice until they saw Issei. Shirahashi was happy to see him. Shirahashi. Issei. Issei. Everything will be fine, don't worry. Some didn't know who he was but others did and they were scared. That is divine fist that he makes here. This is dangerous, we have to go. Issei. No one is leaving here. Creating 12 clones so that no one left the place. Many were surprised to see that. Don't be afraid, idiots, there are only 13 of them. And there are hundreds of us. So we can go on the attack with him. At that one ran at great speed wanting to kill Issei with the sword. But Issei just made his fist back killing the person. Everyone was surprised and scared when they saw that. Just one hit. This is impossible. Go to the attack or I will kill you myself. Without any other option, everyone went against Issei and his clones. Issei killed anyone who crossed him. Only with his fists and feet. Some went against the clones and when they were killed they regenerated. One cut him in half and was about to leave, but he noticed how he split in two. He had no time to react as he was killed. The citizens were surprised to see that only one person could against so many. The generals didn't know what to do since they knew of Issei's reputation and weren't stupid enough to go on the attack and die. Minutes passed and the leader was upset since they couldn't beat Issei. At that he took a sword and was about to cut off the king's head, but Issei arrived and stopped her. Issei. You think I forgot about you? Squeezing the leader's hand causing him to moan in pain. Issei. There are always consequences when you decide to attack someone. And it's time for you to suffer yours. This is for the good of everyone. Here I must rule. Issei. That's not your decision. Here the people rule. And they don't love you. The annoyed man quickly took the sword with his other hand and wanted to cut off Issei's head. Shirahashi saw that and got scared. But when he was about to cut off Issei's head he couldn't, since the sword couldn't pass anymore. What are you made of? A human doesn't have that much stamina. Issei. Things happen but it doesn't matter. Luring the leader and giving him a blow in the stomach that sent him flying away. When he was about to fall to the ground, Issei gave him several consecutive blows, destroying his body completely. By then all of Issei's clones had finished off the others. Although some surrendered so as not to die. Seconds later, Luffy's crew arrived and seeing that everyone had surrendered and how there were corpses, they were surprised. Luffy. Hey, what happened here? Issei. It's all over now. Sanji. Where are they? What happened? Issei. I took care of them. Nami. Like. Issei. That doesn't matter. What matters is that it's all over. Enterprise. In the end you did get into trouble. Issei. It was to save a friend. Come, I present it to you. Going with the siren. Issei. Shira, she is Enterprise, my partner. Enterprise. Nice to meet you. Shirahashi. Likewise and thanks for the help, Issei. I was afraid that something would happen to my father and brothers. Issei. This isn't over yet. Shirahashi. It's okay, I don't want you to get hurt. Issei. I made a promise and I will keep it, don't worry. Enterprise, I'll be back in a few minutes, take care of her. Enterprise. Don't worry, be careful. At that Issei took a big leap and left there. Shirahashi. You're not afraid that something will happen to him. Enterprise. A little, but I know he will come back since he always keeps his promises. And he has a lot to live up to, so he can't go down so easily. Meanwhile Issei had gone out to the ocean to look for that person. Issei. How am I going to find it? It's good that Shirahashi gave me a brief explanation of what it is like. Issei continued on his way until he saw a large ship and, as he would say, the place where he was previously. He decided to go there to see who was there. And when he entered he only saw one person. Issei. Decker, how good I see you. Decker. Who are you and what do you want? Issei. Just one thing. I want you to leave Shirahashi in peace. Thanks to you she hasn't left her room. Decker. She's mine. And if she isn't, she won't belong to anyone else, that's why I'm going to kill her. Issei. I'm sorry but it won't happen. Decker. And how do you think about? He didn't finish as Issei had moved quickly and cut off his arm. Decker could only scream in pain since he didn't even see Issei move at the moment. Issei. I'm not playing. I don't like my loved ones and friends being hurt. But seeing your face I can tell that you didn't give up easily. At that Issei started walking towards him. Decker, seeing that, got scared and crawled until he reached a wall. When he turned around he saw a monster behind Issei that scared him even more. Decker. You who are. You are not a normal human. Issei. They have called me many things, but I will only tell you that I am an ordinary human. Decker. Don't be kidding. Issei didn't respond as he wanted to get it over with. At that he put his foot on one of Decker's and with little force he crushed it, causing the boat to stagger. Decker just screamed in pain, but Issei with you with his other leg. Decker begged for mercy, but Issei had a serious face on him. Issei. That's what Shira said, so you would stop bothering her, but you continued with a big smile. You think I'll let you live? Decker. I give up, take me to jail now. Issei. I never leave my enemies alive since they will cause a disaster in the future. At that Issei crouched down and Decker was about to say something, but Issei hit him in the face, killing him. At that he stood up again while he wiped his fist off. Issei. Well, it's time to go back to the others. But before. He took a step and the ship began to rock until it was destroyed in pieces. After that Issei headed off to return to the rest. Chapter 142. Issei was walking through the city until he heard about the banquet at the palace. With no other option he decided to go there since he remembered what his new colleagues are like. At that point he arrived at a large stage and in the distance he saw his friends and decided to go there. When he arrived he saw how Sanji wanted to get out of the bubble to be with the mermaids. Issei. They're having a good time, aren't they? At that everyone turns around and was surprised to see Issei calm in the water. Luffy. How do you breathe underwater? Issei. It's for a trick. Shirahashi. Issei, how did it go? Issei. Now everything is fine, don't worry. He will never bother you again. Shirahashi. Thank you very much. And come, let's go to the party. Issei. I'll go in a few minutes, I have to go with Enterprise first. Shirahashi just nodded and Issei went with his partner. Issei. It's all over now. Enterprise. Yes. Give me your hand because you have a little blood left. Issei held out his hand and Enterprise took out a tissue and began to clean what little she had left. Enterprise. And now what will we do? At that point the others approached him. Luffy. They won't go with us. Issei. You guys must continue your journey. Chopper. Come on, it will be more fun. Sanji. Don't go, Enterprise-chan. Issei. We're going to think about it for now, we have to enjoy the party. Leaving the bubble and going to dance. Seeing that, Sanji became jealous since he also wanted to do that. Minutes passed while Issei had fun. Jinbe spoke with the rest of the crew, giving them information about the new world and its changes. Jinbe. Be more careful with Teach. Since he killed Shirohige and took away his position as Yonkou. Nami. He's a cheater. Jinbe. But that's how things are now in the new world. They will be searched by the Navy. More if the two of them go with you. The new chief of the Navy Akainu, so he hates Issei a lot. Enterprise. The truth is, many people hate Issei, and as you can see, it doesn't matter to him since they don't bother him. Jinbe. You guys have done so many things in such a short time that it would scare anyone. Zoro. Like. Jinbe. They have never left anyone alive, every rival that approaches them dies. Usopp. Because they do that. Enterprise. If we leave them alive, sooner or later they will continue on their way, they never change. Nami. They are not affected by killing. Enterprise. You never get used to those things. Except Issei has killed so many people, but he doesn't like to talk about it. Luffy. Hey, how he got so strong and fast. Enterprise. He only trained since he was a child without rest. But let's leave this topic, we have to go have fun with others. The others nodded and returned. That's when they found out that the princess went to rest and Issei went to explore as usual since he hadn't seen everything about the castle. But what no one knew is that the princess was being kidnapped by a guy with a quicksand ability. Shirahoshi. Let me go. You are not going anywhere, princess, now you will be mine. We are going to have fun. Issei. I thought you wouldn't do anything since I hadn't seen you. But you had just hidden. The person upon hearing that voice slowly turned around and was scared to see Issei behind him with a serious face. At that Issei grabbed him by the neck, but the person made up his mind and appeared further away. You won't be able to touch me. You won't be able to do anything to me, hahaha. Issei. Seriously, from what I know all the sand is you, no. So what will happen if I do this? Cutting his finger and letting some of his blood fall. The person only watched with a smile as he saw how Issei was acting. But seconds later he began to feel pain all over his body and he screamed. What did you do to me? Issei. Believe it or not, my blood is deadly to many. I have been attacked by so many poisons that I lost count and thanks to that I became immune and was able to create my own poison. Give me the antidote. If you do it, I won't be a bother anymore and they can leave me in jail. Issei. Because I would have to do that. You heard my friend, so there is no antidote. At that he turned around and went to Shirahoshi. Issei. You feel fine. Shirahoshi. Yes, and thank you for coming to help me, I was very afraid. Issei. Everything happened already. Look. Turning around and showing him how the person was melting and how he evaporated in the end without leaving any trace. After that Issei told him to go rest while he continued with his thing. Days passed until the group decided to leave the island to continue their trip. Shirahoshi. Issei, we will meet again. Issei. If destiny wants it that way it will be. But promise me you'll be strong next time. Shirahoshi. That's how it will be. You will see that I will be very strong. Issei just gave her a smile and got on the ship to leave. After a while they reached the surface again to continue their journey again. But upon arriving they were greeted by large drops of water. From one moment to the next the drops of water turned into hail. And some were about to fall into the ship. Issei and others went to destroy them without much difficulty. Then snow fell and it started to rain again. After many difficulties they managed to get out of there, but it was very hot. That's when they decided to go eat. But when everyone was about to leave, a portal opened, scaring everyone except 2 people. Enterprise. It's time. Well, it was more than expected. Issei. It was 2 long years, really. And that's a lot. Luffy. You know what that is. Nami. It looks dangerous. Issei. This will take us home. It was fun while it lasted. I would have liked to travel more with you, but there are things to do. Robin. There's no way they're staying. Issei. I haven't seen some people in 2 years and I want to see them. It was fun. He walked towards the group and said goodbye to everyone as did Enterprise. Just then Enterprise entered and when Issei was about to enter she turned around. Issei. If you see Shirahoshi tell her that one day we will meet again. And another thing more. Luffy, I hope you are the king of the pirates and find what you want. Luffy. That's how it will be. I will leave a mark in that place. Issei. I know you will. I left something there too, I hope you guys like it. Bye bye. Entering the portal. Seconds later he was in front of the person again. Issei. It's been a long time, hasn't it? And you will tell me. I know, and my name is Shichigami. Issei. You were already late. Shichigami. A little haha. And tell me what you thought of the trip. Did you like it? Issei. It was fun. Exactly at the beginning since we had to fight and then we were searched. Although it is not necessary for me to say all this since you already know it. Shichigami. The truth is I don't know what they did since I have the duty to observe other dimensions. Issei. I see. Well, it's time to go. Kichigami just nodded and created a portal. Enterprise entered first. Issei was going to do it, but they talked to him. Kichigami. Issei, I know you just came back, but I have to tell you something important. Issei. What's wrong? Kichigami. Issei, I don't know if you're ready for this, but I'll tell you. I want you to go to another dimension and try to save Haidu. Issei. When he heard that name he was surprised and he was going to say something, but Kichigami continued. Kichigami. He was betrayed and now he himself is imprisoned. He was in the Gremory group, but after the last big battle, he was betrayed by the Alliance and by his fellow Drake and his loved ones. He is locked up being tortured day and night. Issei. Don't say more. I will go. Kichigami. Issei, it's not your obligation to go. This will be painful for you. There are people you will have to see. Issei. It doesn't matter anyway. Those people aren't my acquaintances so I'll be fine. But before I go let you know yes. Kichigami just nodded and created a portal for Issei where he entered another place. Kichigami. Issei, I hope you can handle this. It will be very painful for you to see what lies ahead for you. Chapter 143. Upon leaving the portal, Enterprise stayed there waiting for Issei to come out, but nothing. I was about to go back in until a note came out of there. Enterprise. I'll be back as soon as possible. Something came out. Tell the girls I'm sorry. He was surprised to read that since this time he went alone. Letting out a sigh he decided to enter the house since he was in the patio. It was night and when I did it, not all the girls were there. When they saw Enterprise they were happy and quickly went to give her a hug. Belfast. They did well. Enterprise. Yes but. Giving him the note. When Belfast took it, he began to read it aloud so that the others knew what it was. At the end there was a great silence for a few seconds until someone broke it. Alicia. He's always like that. There is no choice but to wait. Najir. Tell me what the place was like. At that Enterprise went to take a seat while Grafia went to put water for the tea. Meanwhile, Issei, upon leaving the portal, was in an alley. He looked around and noticed how ugly he looked. He started walking until he reached the exit and was surprised because he saw only disasters and how humans were being used as horses. But that was not the worst. What surprised him is that he noticed that they liked being spanked and he also heard how they said they wanted more. Issei. I don't like this. At that he turned around so as not to attract attention. As he walked he noticed an old newspaper on the ground. Issei. Year 2026, we humans find out that angels and demons and other mythologies exist. He was going to continue, but he heard a noise and decided to hide. While he was there he heard a conversation. This is the best life. Now we have our own slaves. You're right. Although they are weak since they are human, they do not resist women much less. I understand you, but thanks to the leaders we can have this alliance. Not only thanks to them, but also to the idiot of the former Sekiryuite since he defeated all our enemies. You're right. Ryuya-sama knew how to handle it. Ahahaha yes. He is such an idiot. Issei heard everything very clearly. Just then he gets up and the two demons heard a noise and turned around and were surprised to see a free human. But they were happy since they could use it for training. Wow, a pig escaped. We should report this, but I want to try a new spell. Issei. Where is Haidu? Because we would have to call you a disgusting pig. Issei. Tell me or I will give you the worst possible death. Ahahaha you kill a demon. You're crazy hahaha. Ahahaha I haven't laughed like that in a while. Yeah. No humans reveal themselves anymore nowadays as they like to be tortured. The other demon was going to respond, but Issei moved quickly, smashing his head. The other, upon seeing that, opened his eyes wide and was about to attack, but Issei grabbed him by the neck and with his green eyes shining, he gave him a serious look that scared the demon. Issei. Where is he? Do you think I give it? It didn't end as Issei took the demon's arm with his other hand and tore it off. The demon was about to scream in pain, but Issei squeezed his neck so that no scream would come out. Issei. You will tell me now. Loosening her grip on him. The demon was going to scream, but Issei was faster and tightened his grip on him and then ripped 2 of the 3 fingers off of him. The demon could not scream, but tears came out of pain. Issei. I have a lot of time and some ideas. Talk now and you can go to your friend. Good. He said it sadly. At that Issei loosened his grip on him. It's in the mansion where he used to live. Now it is his prison. Issei. Where is he? I don't know, I'm just a low-class demon, I can't go in there. I already told you everything, let me go. Issei. Good. Putting his hand into the demon's chest, pulling out his heart. Issei. I would make you suffer for what you have done in the past, but I don't have much time. Releasing the corpse of the demon. At that Issei takes a big leap to climb the building and be able to see where he is. When Issei was up there he noticed the destruction and some screams. Issei. This world is already rotten. He has no salvation. Go to the sides and know where he was. By doing this I lowered myself from the building so as not to attract so much attention. As soon as he reached the ground he began his walk. After a few minutes of walking without meeting someone in the distance, he saw the mansion that now looked like a prison. Issei noticed two dens that were at the entrance and how they were whipping a human they had there. Issei clenched his fists in frustration and was about to go. But when he took the first step he heard the human say louder. Issei. Nobody has salvation here anymore. So low they fell. Issei left those ideas behind and started walking to the entrance and nothing mattered to him. As he did so a guard looked up and saw Issei. You come for fun. There is plenty for you to gain. Issei didn't respond and continued on his way. The demon, not hearing an answer, got angry and went against Issei. But upon arrival Issei took out his katana and cut him in the stomach and then inserted it into his eye, killing him. The other demon, seeing that, was going to call the rest, but Issei was standing in front of him. Issei. Where is Haidu Issei? Because I would have to tell you. Issei didn't feel like listening to nonsense, so he cut off her leg with his katana, causing the demon to scream in pain and attracting the attention of several. While waiting, Issei saw the human and noticed desire in his eyes. Issei let out a sigh and cut off his head. Seconds later more guards arrived and saw the demon left in pain and Issei standing with a katana. Issei. I'll say it once. Where is Haidu Issei? I don't hear a response. Instead she saw how they formed some magic circles and at the end they threw them at Issei. He, for his part, was standing there doing nothing. At that point all the spells hit him squarely. The demons were about to leave, but a katana flew out of the smoke, hitting one in the face and killing him instantly. Issei quickly came out of the smoke taking his katana and sending several away instantly leaving only one. How did a human do all this? Issei. First things first. Inserting his sword into the demon's leg. What are you taking about? Issei. Not recently I asked a question and now you will tell me. Speak or suffer, you decide. Hell, when he saw Issei's eyes he saw a lot of pain towards him and that scared him. He is on the floor below. Now you can let me go. Issei stood up and put his hand on his chin and thought. At that he took the katana from him quickly cutting the demon's neck. Issei. No. Taking the way down. Chapter 144. As Issei walked he encountered various demons, fallen angels, yakes and other races. Issei. Yes, they have it under various security conditions. He said it as he continued on his way. Minutes passed until he reached the top floor and saw nothing on the sides and saw a large steel door in front. Issei without thinking twice kicked him causing him to fall to the ground. Upon entering, Issei was surprised and upset to see how they had the person. They had him chained by both arms and legs while they had him hanging. Issei noticed his malnutrition. The other person barely looked up. Haidu. So it's time. He said it with a light voice. Issei. I came to help you, don't worry. Approaching. Haidu. It's impossible, these chains have a great spell. Issei didn't hear anything and continued on his way. At that he took the first chain and broke it as if it were nothing. Then he took the other one in the same way and also the ones on the legs. Haidu was about to fall to the ground since he had no strength. Issei grabbed it so it wouldn't fall. Haidu. Who are you and why do you do this? Issei. That doesn't matter right now. First you have to get out. Haidu. Like. There are many guards outside. Issei. I'll take care of it. They both began to walk and as they did so Haidu was surprised to see several corpses and some others embedded in the wall. Issei leaned Haidu against the wall and turned around. Issei. Go up, it will be faster. He just nodded and climbed onto his back. After that Issei started running to leave the place. When he did so he didn't see anyone so he took a big jump to go faster. While he was doing it he noticed that it started to snow. Haidu. It's already Christmas, how time flies. Issei. How long were you there? Haidu. The last thing I remember was that it was the year 2023. Issei. I see you've been there for 3 years. Haidu didn't know what to say. They were both silent until after a long journey they reached a forest. Issei laid Haidu on a tree. Issei. Tell me how you got to that place. Haidu. It's a long story. Issei. I have some time. Haidu. I was a second-year student. I won't lie, he was one of the 3 perverts at the academy, the kendo club always beat us. But still we continued. Issei. They were persistent. Haidu. I would say a lot. Then one day I was returning home and a girl named Yuma confessed to me and I happily accepted since well it was the first time someone confessed to me. But that joy I prepared for the appointment. We had a good day until night came and she told me that she was a fallen angel and that her name was Rainer. Because of the shock I didn't know what to say. But before she spoke she killed me. Issei. Wow, what a bad first date. Haidu. And you say it. Seconds later before dying I saw a red color until I fainted. The next day I woke up thinking it was a dream and when I moved my hand I felt something soft and I removed the blanket and saw it was a girl. I was surprised and happy. At that she continued with her story of how she continued to meet more of her loved ones. For her part, Issei listened to everything very carefully since it was her life. Haidu. After defeating Trixa, everything changed. The girls were getting further and further away from me. And I thought they wanted some time, so I didn't insist. Until one day I went for a walk in the underworld to distract myself until I saw them all with different boys. And I saw Riaz, the person I loved most, with Razor. I fought for her so she wouldn't get married, I sacrificed my arm for her, and in the end it didn't help. And that was not all. After that I left there and appeared at the place where I was murdered, since I wanted to process all that. But at that moment all the leaders arrived and told me that I was no longer useful, and before I could do anything they attacked me. When I woke up I was already in that place, and the leaders and the girls were there, and they told me that it was just a toy and all that. But it hurt me when my own Drake companion betrayed me. He left with Razor. Issei. I don't know what to say. Haidu. That's where the torture began. When I was about to die they gave me Phoenix tears to continue their fun. But it hurt me more to see how they killed my parents in front of me. And it was Asia and Riaz who went. They treated them like their daughters. Haidu shed some tears remembering all that, but he still continued. Haidu. Some people who claimed to be my friends tortured me a lot more, like Kiba, Gasper and Saji. It hurt me to know that Gabriel committed suicide to avoid being taken. That's what Michael was going to tell me. Issei. Then the angels were also in it. Haidu. Yes. They use a spell to have their wings and aura, but in the end there are no angels anymore, they all fell. Arena tricked me. In the end the only people who loved me were Gabriel and Valerie. The others just played with me. Issei. Stop torturing yourself now, you just have to live for them. Haidu. I already lost everything. To my parents, to the women who loved me, I no longer have anything. You know, at the beginning I wanted revenge just by being free, but I have no power, and if I had it I would just kill myself with it. I'm already tired. At that he stood up, as did Issei. But at that moment Haidu got on his knees, surprising Issei. Issei. What are you doing? Get up. Haidu. Please kill me. Issei upon hearing that widened his eyes. Haidu. I have nothing to live for anymore. Maybe when I die I will find Gabriel and Valerie. Please kill me. Issei heard some sobs and approached him and put his hand on his shoulder. Haidu looked up and saw Issei with a tear. Issei. If that's what you want, I'll do it. Haidu. Thank you very much. Now I can be with them. But before doing so I can see the sunset for the last time. Issei just nodded and helped him up, and they walked a little until they reached a meal, and they both sat in silence for a long time. Haidu. Now that I think about it, you didn't tell me your name. Issei. My name is Issei. Haidu. Wow, what a coincidence, me too. Issei. I know. There was another silence until the sun set and Haidu stood up, as did Issei. At that Haidu gave him a smile. Haidu. Thank you for granting my wish. Issei. Okay. It was nice meeting you. Haidu just nodded and closed his eyes. At that moment Issei cut his finger and put some of his blood on Haidu's wound. Little by little Haidu staggered and Issei took him in his arms. Issei. I gave you my poison, it's deadly. But I know how to control it. So you will die without pain, it will be like going to sleep. Haidu. Thank you. Those were his last words when he died. Issei couldn't help but cry when he saw someone die in his arms. At that I hugged him while he cried. All snow was falling. After a while he took him in his arms and walked for a while until he reached the bottom of the forest. Issei began to gather together and created a large bed. And then she put it there and set it on fire. Issei. Despite everything you went through, you did not let yourself be guided by hatred. I hope you are happy wherever you end up. At that Issei turned around as he heard several footsteps in the distance. Issei. So they're coming. Starting to walk towards the army. Chapter 145. Moments before the entire army moved. The soldier managed to escape Issei's attack and teleported to the underworld, passing by several guards as he had to report on him. Just then he knocked on the door and seconds later a silver-haired maid opened it. Surzich. What do you want? I hope it is something of great importance if you do not know the consequences. Lucifer Sama, the prisoner Haidu Issei, had someone's help and was freed. Surzich, upon hearing that, got up from his seat and went to the guard and grabbed him by the neck. Surzich. Who did it? Who betrayed us? We do not know. But here I have the recordings. Taking something out of a pocket dimension and giving it to them. Surzich took it and projected the hologram and saw how Issei was at the entrance and how he killed the Lairs without much difficulty. Surzich. Which faction does he belong to? He is a human. Surzich. Don't say stupid things. A human can't do that. But it is the truth. Surzich. Get out of here. The Lair only nodded and left the place. Surzich. Grafia calls everyone. I have to break the news as soon as possible. Grafia just nodded and left the room. Half an hour later all the leaders were in the meeting room. Serafal. What's the urgency? Surzich didn't say anything and showed the video of how Issei saved Haidu. Everyone was surprised to see that. Auden. Who is that person and what faction does he belong to? Surzich. He's just a human. Azazel. You're kidding, right? Adel cannot do that, it is impossible, and now no human can possess sacred gear since it modifies that. Surzich. But that's the way it is. We have to find it and end this. Riaz. Oni-sama, I can go with Razor and follow me. It won't be a big deal. Sona. I'll go too. Surzich. Good, but some soldiers will go with you. Riaz. Don't exaggerate, just a human won't be able to do anything. Razor. With me it's more than enough. I have the power of Drag. Surzich. I know you're close to having the power of a Mau. Sona. Well then where do we look? Isaka. Several of my men are searching and they will give me the report shortly. Saji. I want to kill him. I have time without fighting. Well, though it won't be a fight since he's just a weak human. Minutes passed and a Yakai arrived and gave them the report. Riaz and Sona, knowing the location without wasting time, teleported from the place. Appearing in a meadow. At that point the great exercise began to walk, being directed by Sona since she is the strategist. They took a few steps as they saw Issei in the distance. He, for his part, continued on his way as if nothing had happened. Issei. Wow, don't expect to see them so soon. Sona. Where is Haidu? Issei. If you hand him over they will have a light punishment and you will be able to be his servant. Issei. Right now he is in a better place. Saji. Finally he died. I wanted to do it with my own hands, but in the end I couldn't, it hurts. Reaser. I agree with you. But that human will serve a purpose. Issei. Despite where you are, you will always be the same conceited person. Razor. Don't talk to me like that, you bucking human. To a divine being like me. Riaz. Lairs, finish him off. I don't want to get my hands dirty. They just nodded and went on the attack. Issei just put his hand on the katana and when the hideouts were about to attack, Issei quickly pulled it out and killed them all. The others were surprised when they saw that. Issei. I don't have time for rubbish. It's better to kill them all. Starting to run towards the rest. Sona came out of her astonishment and sent for more dens. Issei killed everyone in his path, since she didn't want to waste her time. Razor, seeing how Issei was approaching, created a large fireball and threw it at him, leaving Issei in some hideouts. Razor. Well, it's all over now. Turning around, but then Issei spoke. Issei. Who said this is over, chicken? Coming out of the fire as if nothing had happened. Razor became even more upset upon hearing that nickname. At that he activated his armor and went to attack. When he was about to hit Issei in the face, Issei just grabbed his fist and then his arm broke. When he released it, he kicked it, sending it flying with the rest. Riaz. You bucking human, how dare you touch him? Tiba, Kaneko, go. They both just nodded and went on the attack. Tiba summoned two of his swords and was ready to hit Issei. Issei. Hydra poison. Created a large cloud of poison. Seeing that, both of them were about to turn back, but Issei took them by the hand so they wouldn't escape. Riaz could only hear screams of agony from his servants. Seconds later Issei was leaving while he dragged two people while part of his body fell off. Then he threw them at Riaz and they landed near his leg. When they saw it, they were about to vomit since they looked bad at each other. An annoyed Saji went to the attack without listening to Sona. As he did so he activated his armor. Issei only punched him in the stomach, sending him flying away from there. Issei. They made a good person suffer. He did not deserve such a fate. Riaz. Shut up. You humans only serve to serve us. Issei. You still have that great pride. Riaz didn't say anything and sent Akeno to attack. For his part, Issei threw a knife into the air and ran a little. Then he made a big jump, kicking the knife, hitting Akeno in the forehead, falling dead. Since due to the speed he did not know how to react in time. Seeing that, Riaz got a little scared since only one person was finishing them off. Issei. They won't escape from here that easy. Sona. That's not for you to decide. Creating a circle to teleport. But when he was about to do it, Issei stood in front of her and cut off one of her legs, making her scream in pain. His group was in shock since he did not know when he moved. Issei. I told you, no one is leaving here. Running towards the soldiers and killing them all in a few seconds. In the end there were only the group of Sona and Riaz with Gasper and Asia where they were both scared. Riaz told Gasper to stop Issei, but it didn't help much as Issei continued walking as if nothing had happened. At that he moved faster and hit Gasper several times in the chest and then hit him with more force, sending several parts of Gasper's body to his companions. Asia had a piece fall on her head and she was scared. Issei. He took care of you a lot and that's how you repay him. Approaching Asia. She only took steps back since she was scared and she couldn't activate Fanner's armor. At that she tripped on a rock and fell to the ground. Issei looked at her with a serious face. Asia was about to say something, but Issei kicked her in the face, dislocating her jaw. She only complained about the pain while she healed. When she was almost healed Issei put his foot on her head and started crushing it. Asia. Forgive me. I was just following orders, I don't want to die. Issei. Everyone has to face the consequences sometimes. squeezing harder until I kill Asia. The others were scared when they saw that. Sona. You are not a human, you are a monster. Issei. If I'm a monster, I don't know what you are. But don't worry, one of you will live because I want you to give a message to the leaders. Rias. You killed the weakest ones, you must know that the Securite is on our side and also that he is a phoenix. Razor. That's how you talk. Issei. You were already late getting up. But I don't have time to play, so let's finish this. Razor was going to respond, but Issei moved at great speed and started hitting Razor and activated his armor, but it didn't help much. Since with each blow he destroyed her. And his regeneration wasn't of much use since she was getting slower and slower. Issei. Goodbye. Hitting him more until I kill him completely. When everyone saw how Issei killed Reaser, they were scared since he was his only salvation. At that, someone from Sona's group tried to teleport, but Issei moved at great speed and knocked out his heart from his chest. Issei. You guys are really stupid. Well, let's finish this. I have things to do. Approaching another person, upon seeing Issei she got scared and got on her knees and begged for mercy, but it was of no use as Issei took out the katana from her and cut off her head. Sona. You have no feelings, you damn monster. Issei didn't say anything and continued with his thing until only the two heirs were left. Sona was on the ground with only 1 foot and Riaz was shaking. Riaz. Don't you know who our brothers are? My brother is Surzich Lucifer and hers is Seraphol Leviathan. Issei. I know very well who they are. And it doesn't worry me like the rest. At that she approached Riaz and took her arm. She was going to say something, but Issei broke her. She could only scream in pain, but Issei continued until her bone came out. At that she took the bone and began to pull it. Riaz for his part only screamed louder. Sona was scared seeing that and she couldn't do anything as she couldn't think clearly. Issei stopped pulling Riaz's bone and she fell to the ground, but before she said anything Issei crushed her leg very hard. Riaz. Let go, it hurts. Let me go, I'll do whatever you want. I will be yours, but stop. Issei. At that she continued until she destroyed her foot completely. Issei. Be thankful that I won't make you suffer like you made Haidu Issei suffer. Riaz. Not anymore. Issei took out the katana from him and inserted it into his abdomen. Riaz spit out a lot of Sager and saw Sona, she just looked away since she didn't want to see. Issei knelt down and took Riaz's hand. Issei. Tell me Gremory how many times you tortured Haidu. And don't lie to me. Riaz. Just once. At that Issei tore off one of his fingers. Issei. I said don't lie to me. Riaz was crying and didn't know what to do. Riaz. I didn't lose count. At first it was several hours a day and then it became routine to this day. Issei. I see. At that Issei tore another one from her fingers. Riaz just screamed in pain. Sona covered her ears so as not to hear that. At the end of removing her fingers, Issei tore her arm off of her. Riaz. I can't kill me anymore. Issei. It's the same thing he said. And you refused, I guess. Riaz didn't say anything and Issei just let out a sigh. At that he approached her and opened her mouth. Riaz. What are you going to do to me? She said it, all scared. Issei didn't say anything and she pulled out one tooth and then another until she had none left. By the end Riaz was spitting out a lot of blood and couldn't speak. Issei got up from the ground and took out the katana from where he had it and cut Riaz's head off. Issei saw how Sona looked away and shot her head. Seeing Riaz's head without teeth, she got scared and screamed. Issei. You know Kaicho. This is the first time I've made someone suffer. I don't like these things but I had no choice. She did something unforgivable. I was going to do the same with all of you, but I don't have time for that. Now get out of here and give your report. At that point he approached Sona and stared at her. Seeing Issei's eyes, she became more scared. Issei took her mouth and gave him a drop of her blood. At the end she left the place walking as if nothing had happened. Sona barely teleported to the underworld with Ria's head since Issei told her to take it. When they arrived everyone was surprised to see her in that state and with a head. Surzich was shocked by what he saw. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want the next part. Also check out my other video that has been shown and left. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video please like and share this video. And have a fantastic day. Bye.